फर्स्ट मैच तो मुझे लग रहा है DFM जीतेगी क्योंकि जी अच्छा नहीं खेलती है इस मैप पे।
Yeah, when you
अच्छा
get
भी
taken
खेल रहा है
out
ये।
that quickly in the pistol round, right? And especially not having that rendezvous set up, a bit of a mishap on the side of GE. I wonder how much more
सेकंड राउंड
confident
में
you
भी
have to
हमने
push
दी।
out mid, because you have to. Wherever the chamber is,
सेव
you
कर
have
रहे
to
हैं ना
take these
ऐसे
aggressive
की भी
angles.
तो
You have to take these
Yeah.
aggressive angles to make sure you punish them from trying to clear that space.
चलो गाइस
Totally need to set that
चलो
up
चलो
there.
चलो
Let's
चलो
just give
शुरू
yourself
करें
some
चलो
kind of an escape route, but right
Clear that
now,
space.
next
चलो
round
गाइस।
straight in towards B. Just
ओके
everything
लेट्स
open
सी
up for
DFM
DFM.
में
Yeah, just stacking onto A side.
प्लांट
GE,
हो
they
गया
take
क्या
that
कर रहे हैं
choice,
टीम।
down they go, the
अरे
lead
सब ने
is
थ्रो कर दिया सब नीचे गिर
It is
गए।
a flawless, not by choice.
Not by choice.
प्लांट करने के पैसे दे
Well,
दिए यार
somebody's choice, but not DFM's.
Yeah, G's choice.
सब
to
नीचे
really
गिर गए भाई।
deny those
अब
ultimates
गन बाय करेंगे।
possibly. And just
उदतान
going now to
अच्छा
the next
उदतान भी
round.
बाय कर रहा है।
It's now all picked up all across the region.
दो
field.
फैंटम 3 वैंडल।
In the future, I want a
ये
team
जापान
like
की
this
टीम है
team
भाई
in
प्लीज
Utah.
जीत रहा है भाई हमें।
You go B, but you
नाम
have someone
रोशन
that
करो
Gary's waiting outside of A main. And once the spike's planted,
अपने
just
देश
start
का।
running into the site and see if you can gun them down before they hit the ground. Just pick up those
देश
free
का छोड़ टीम का
ultimators.
नाम रोशन कर भाई।
We gotta stop this. Stop this nonsense. Anyway, GE now. with the
पिस्टल
ultimate.
अरे तोड़ दिया उसका
Another
रिकॉनी।
recon, it does get shot down immediately.
ए पे रस कर रहे सब।
Some presence, but not sure of the exact.
क्रिस्टल है यहाँ पे
Doesn't
अकेला।
have a good
अगर
out right
क्रिस्टल
now.
3 ले गया ना
Smokes to mask
मजा ही आ जाए
his
भाई।
position. It's gonna be the double fake smokes coming up from DFM, and then they look to jump in.
और नाइस स्टन के लिए
Yeah, good timing on the util back there from Kelly S. But right now, I mean, Art still
Eh,
barrel through in towards the side.
इंटर हो गई है वे
मतलब-
साइड पे प्लांट भी हो रहा है कैसा है ये लोग है।
Now a little bit more
सेंटिनल नहीं है क्या इनकी टीम पे
Spike is
डेरियन है
right in the way where
सेंटिनल।
you have to fight on site. They have to just hold on.
अरे,
They cannot back out. It's not a
Darion।
great angle. Ooh, DFM, those he's sending
डेरियन
everything.
भाग रहा है।
They know there's one heaven. They know there's multiple in the back of site as well.
Yeah, Art trying to send some util too has to be a little bit
DFM
careful.
में
Crystal right around the corner, but
ये शायद 3 को ले
पहले
जाएगा।
सोचा
नहीं नहीं
होगा।
नहीं नहीं एक को भी नहीं ले गया। बच गया रिकॉन।
Picks up the Phantom. GE not quite able to break through
क्या ना
just
कौन
yet.
जीतेगा।
So much time already passed, and May still free to just duel back to back to
पी
back.
किल
He's
करे
actually
जाएगा यार।
so
अरे पापी ले गया अरे डेरियन भी ले गया।
Poppy and Darion, they open it up. But time
अरे
not on
नहीं,
their side.
Darion मर गया।
Aquaman still holding on to the site, and it has
पिस्टल
to be
से
a save.
सेव।
Straight up, just no chance whatsoever. All those smokes and everything cycled through. So much time already spent and burnt, and unfortunate for GE because this bonus goes again to DFM.
Yeah, Jian, sure, he
दोनों ने
loses out
सेव
on
कर
that
लिया
one, but
भाई।
it was your
तो ना कुछ
bonus,
खास।
so you're pretty happy. You'll still
सेव
be
ही
able to
करते रहेंगे
snowball
जीतेंगे कब।
forward. The most important thing is you committed to
दो
just stay
सेव।
on that site fighting for it, and it
सही था
actually
ये
led
सेव
to a
क्या कर
round
सकते
win.
हैं उस वक्त सीजन पे।
And now,
वो वाली
I mean, every
Phantom
time we
बहुत
see May
use हो
holding
रही
that
है।
backside, ready
Recon
for the
क्या
नाम है
flash,
उसका?
you gotta
ये
get
वाली।
scared, 'cause we've seen so
हाँ,
many
Recon ही नाम
highlights
है।
from this kid.
मैं बोला ना
Right
रिकॉन
there in
बहुत
that
लोग
same
यूज करते हैं।
exact position
मैंने बोला
once
भाई ये तो
again.
नॉर्मल है बट मैंने बोला अभी उस वक्त यूज करते फिर भी मुझे नहीं पता क्यों बट हाँ लोग यूज
Still
करते।
though, being able to keep some of these
अच्छी
guns at
है।
least for GE.
मेरे को भी
being
अब
able to
सही
strike
लगने लग
back,
गई।
there is a bit of a stack towards the B site.
Waiting for that push out.
कायास वेंजेंस बहुत यूज करते थे 2023 पूरा पागल बनता उसके इनका।
Gonna be doubled up and pushing out.
गया ये
So just
बंदा
holding on his
खत्म
own.
है।
He cannot land the
Crystal।
headshot.
पहले बोला
Actually
मैंने।
gets taken down. Just a little bit of damage against May.
I don't know, even if he did, it's just way
देखते
too
हैं
मेरे
ये
को
एंट्री
पता
लेने
लग
के लिए
गया था।
रेडी है।
So that is gonna
मैं
be
रेडी।
open
कोई
ace
है ही
now
नहीं
for
साइड पे।
DFM. Fully on
ये
through
क्या
again.
खेल रहे भाई।
GE, they might be able to get towards the back side
सब
of things,
back
but
से
how
जा
do
रहे
you
हैं।
really launch a retake
चलो
like this?
देखते
I'm
हैं।
just looking for
खैर मेरे से तो अच्छा ही खेलते हैं सब एक बंदा भी मेरी पूरी स्क्वाड को मार सकता है सब अच्छा ही खेलते हैं मेरे से तो।
He has no intent on fighting this. They
भी
want to
देखते हैं।
catch info
हाँ,
and then
जीतेगा।
back out in towards the site. He's gonna see it. He's gonna
ओह
back
नो
out.
देख लिया कि 2 से ज्यादा बंदे हैं।
Jinbung by him as well. It is more than
सुल्तान।
one. So DFM almost baiting them.
अरे।
If Bart gets it, great, but if May or anybody else
अरे
gets it,
2
even
को ले
better.
गया 8
Bart
ने
gonna
3
continue
को।
charging forward. May gets 2 for his name as well.
now finding all that.
कैलियस है लास्ट।
This one is gonna be Kelly.
अरे कैलियस।
Still able to find a couple
अरे
of
नहीं।
shots, so not too bad for GE, but Jin will be able to pick it up at the very
और
end of it
0 कर
all.
दिया।
Looking very smooth at the start.
बोला ना भाई ये मैप बहुत
Surely
घटिया
happy
है।
with their map pick in the first couple rounds. Not only identifying the fact that they had some good success on this against RQ, but also the fact
यार
that
मेरे को
GE
भी
still
पसंद नहीं
showed some
आता।
weaknesses. And right now, I mean,
क्या
they're not
नाम है
giving
इसका?
GE much time to
Phantom।
really regroup and say, okay,
अबे
what do we
बड़े
attack
मैप का
from
नाम।
round to
Abyss।
round?
ये तो सबको
अबे।
पसंद नहीं आता भाई अलग चीज है बट मुझे ठीक लगता है। सबको पसंद नहीं आता
अभी-
जितने प्रो प्लेयर कहते हैं एकदम अच्छा नहीं है सब हेट करते हैं इस मैप को।
It
इनने क्यों लिया फिर?
तो यार जीतने वाली बात है, टूर्नामेंट प्लेयर है भाई, जीतने की बात है ना। जी कमजोर है, उसने वो कमजोरी का फायदा उठाएंगे ना ये। इनको मैप चूज करने का मौका मिला, लेंगे ना। और जी को भी मौका मिला तो उन्होंने अपना स्ट्रॉन्ग मैप पिक किया। और डेरियन ऑपरेटर के साथ है भाई, चलो देखते हैं क्या करता है डेरियन। इनको साइफर लेना चाहिए था, पता है।
कहाँ तगड़ा खेल रहे हैं ये बंदे।
खत्म खत्म, अब ऑपरेटर शायद सेव करेगा डेरियन। हाँ खत्म, अब ऑप ले लिया जाएगा भाई। अरे नहीं, नहीं लिया
यार 5-0 कर दिया। शर्म आनी चाहिए।
टाइम आउट हो रहा है शायद। ये देखो ना, डेरियन का ऑपरेटर देखो भाई।
और यूं बोला तू एक बंदा लेके जाएगा, हम तेरी पूरी स्कोर खा जाएंगे।
मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा।
फिर
डेरियन
फिर से
क्यों है
पैसे बचा
चेंबर
रहे
के
हैं।
साथ भाई? कहाँ गए कोच सारे? बोलो इसको चेंबर ना यूज करे। ये लोग पुश कर रहे हैं, पूरा सिस्टम चेंज कर रहे हैं भाई ये लोग। चलो मैं कुछ बोलूंगा नहीं, कुछ गलत। ये जो खेल रहे हैं अपना खेल रहे हैं, समझे। ये पेंट्री लेने की बात रहेगी शायद, देखते हैं। ये पेंट्री तो लेगा ही लेगा।
On a scouting mission on his own. Look at how much they trust him. Has that Vandal in hand, but just full faith that he will win the duels. Can he win the 1v2?
और नाइस केलियस,
Drop, but no weapon given over.
कोई वेपन भी नहीं मिला। केलियस और डेरियन ही बाकी है, डेरियन सेव कर रहा है।
Other players coming through. Mid was kind of cleared out by Art as well, so he's able to set up the link outside of.
अबे गन भी नहीं है उसके पास, तो क्या सेव कर रहा है?
अबे चेंबर की गन यूज करेगा वो। वो चेंबर की गन यूज कर लेगा ना, 8 एमओ है उसमें। और केलियस दो, और
Tiny sliver.
डिस्कॉर्ड पे वॉच पार्टी रखेंगे हम लोग भी, बट अगर ये हार गई तो वॉच पार्टी नहीं रख पाएंगे हम लोग। डेरियन भी मर गया। 6-0, motherfucker, what the fuck?
मतलब पार्टी डिस्कॉर्ड मतलब
वॉच पार्टी मतलब डिस्कॉर्ड में बहुत सारे बंदों को बुलाएंगे और मैच देखेंगे।
अपन ही देख लेते हैं।
क्या चीज?
अपन ही देख लेंगे, क्या जरूरत है।
ठीक है, अपन ही देख लेते फिर। मतलब बहुत लोग अपने लाइव स्ट्रीम में वॉच पार्टी रखते हैं। एंड भाई इन्होंने थिएटर में देखा था जी, ये ना टाइम आउट ले रही है। अब शायद कुछ चेंज होगा गेम में, शायद इनके कोच अब समझ रहे हैं कि क्या सीन चल रहा है यहाँ पे। दो टाइम आउट है, एक टाइम आउट जी का गया।
5 मैच में 2 ही देते हैं।
नहीं, हर एक मैच में 2।
वही देखो, 5 मैच में 2 तो भाई बहुत कम है। कम से कम 20 लेने चाहिए।
इस नहीं होगा बे, अगर काउंट करे तो
2 10 होता है।
हाँ 10 होते हैं।
मैं 20 कह रहा हूँ, दोनों टीम के मिला के। समझा? नहीं तू समझा नहीं।
DFM से हार नहीं सकते, मगर मैं समझा या ना समझा, बट DFM से हार नहीं सकते। डेरियन ऑपरेटर भाई कुछ भी करो,
ये बेकार नहीं खेल
नहीं सुन कुछ भी करो, बस इतना ही कहूंगा ना, डेरियन को चेंबर मत दो।
अरे मैं वो नहीं कह रहा, मैं यूं कह रहा हूँ ये कुछ भी कर रहा है, ये बेकार नहीं खेल रहे, ये हगर है।
अरे ये तो अल्ट में है बे, डेरियन को लेना पड़ेगा ऑपरेटर से, ये अल्ट में है।
टाइम ओवर हो गया,
बस एस को ना ले ले बे, नहीं तो अलग ही होगा। हाँ टाइम आउट खत्म।
टाइम ओवर कब हुआ?
नीचे यहाँ टाइम दिखता है ना, यहाँ टाइम दिखता है। कितना टाइम उनको मिला है टाइम आउट में? शायद 1 मिनट मिलता है।
Gain space elsewhere. Right now, you've just given up A main, and you haven't really gained anything else. B always going to be a bit of a stalemate. But mid,
जेट के नाइफ है ना, ये रियल लाइफ में भी मिलता है,
but you
पता
don't really have any space to control to say, okay, this is
सारे
introduction, this is
वैलोरेंट
where
के
the
सारे
ults are
नाइफ
coming from.
सारे मिलते हैं, बटरफ्लाई।
अरे वो बनाते वो बनाते हैं
Really passive plan overall.
पर महंगे बहुत आते हैं।
Hinging on Darren with that first shot once again.
हाँ वो तो आएंगे ना, मेहनत
Does have
लगती है बहुत।
Crystal with him though, so maybe a little bit more
Genshin
support
Impact के भी
now
बनाते
with
हैं
the
बहुत सारे।
command. Don't really have the rendezvous.
वो
Straight into
तो
his side,
बेकार
so
गेम
much
है भाई,
space
दिमाग
afforded
खराब
to
कर दिया
DFM.
उसने।
Crystal though, great opening shot.
अरे लो, क्रिस्टल ने मार दिया जेट को। उडोटान उडोटान हमारी टीम का ड्यूलिस्ट।
Right now, Poppy coming through.
अल्ट मारा उडोट। अरे क्या अब क्यों यूज करना है कुरुनामी भाई, हट यार। नाइस।
पता है गन की स्किन से कुछ नहीं होता।
डेरियन गया और ले लिया एक राउंड ले लिया। टाइम आउट के बाद एक राउंड निकला ना।
हाँ रे, हमेशा कभी टाइम आउट देते एक राउंड निकल जाता है।
हर बार तो नहीं निकलता है, बट हाँ निकल गया इस बार तो।
नहीं ज्यादातर मैंने देखा है।
हाँ क्योंकि उनका रिदम वो खराब हो जाता है ना, और कोच समझाते हैं ना कि ऐसे कर रहे तुम ऐसे करो। ओ भाई क्या हेडशॉट। अच्छा उसने नहीं मार पाया, मुझे लगा भाई इसने हगा, ये फ्लैश हो गया था। ये 6 राउंड हारने के बाद मैंने जीता। शर्म करो। लास्ट राउंड उसने मारा, अबे लास्ट वाले को उसने मारा। चलो ना देखते हैं भाई। अरे डेरियन अल्ट के साथ है, इनको पता चल गया कि बीप है।
सब जन इसको कह रहे हैं।
है ना वो लग रहे हैं। अरे फक,
अल्ट में हक दिया,
स्मोक दे दिया यार। पापी ने दिया कि जिनबोंग ने दिया, पता नहीं भाई। डेरियन को चेंबर नहीं देना चाहिए। उदोतान के पास ऑपरेटर है मगर
रे उसका अल्ट बेकार गया क्या फिर? अब
क्या जी?
उसने अल्ट की एक गोली भी वेस्ट नहीं करी तो वेस्ट गया उसका अल्ट।
हाँ वेस्ट गया, एब्सोल्युटली वेस्ट गया। बस इस्तेमाल तो किया ना, बस खत्म उसका अल्ट। ले बी में एंट्री हो रही है अब अकेले क्रिस्टल है बी पे, और उसके साथ एक और है, देखते हैं क्या होगा। ओके मिड पे जाते हुए पापी
Meanwhile, Jinbung wins. Yudotan still alive on the site. He's just trying to stay alive. Jinbung cleans up mid. But meanwhile, DFM all the way through the site. A hard read and a great reaction from
लोग बहुत नर्वस खेल रहे हैं हमारी टीम।
Keeping themselves alive on all fronts.
ये वाली कटाना तो मस्त था।
Despite G's best efforts to really try to play to their composition.
तो बेस्ट कटाना है बे।
कटाना
कटाना की बात करो, नाइफ की नहीं। ये देख हागा इसने।
Lurk out against 2 players and also dealing against Yudotan. I mean, look at how they were able to get into sight, but within range with that paranoia. Jian out from the back.
Yeah, and let's give Jian a little bit of a shout out, right? I mean, it's not like he's solo carrying the game or anything like that, but 8 and 2 looking for the team seeming
Come on, yaar.
for success. Darion almost getting spotted as he breaks that door.
You're trying to keep some of the attention towards mid. There is that push out towards B now, though.
Yeah, now they do have Yudotan way further out. We have seen this before. DFM, do they sense it? They have an inkling. Yudotan did see a gun barrel, but he just has so many.
उदोतान आगे आ गया है बे, तो फंसेगा।
Oh, that's
हक
too many
दिया।
targets. Unfortunate timing. And DFM, that's the call to start pushing forward with better weaponry.
Yeah, just a little bit quick and overwhelmed.
अरे
Shot out towards
यार
heaven from Akami as well.
होते ही हैं हर
Although you have
esports
the
में।
sight,
क्या?
still is
Jet,
KS just
oh
trying to do
man।
as much as he can, but only good for the
क्या
one.
नाम है उसका?
The
वो
rest of him trying to
तेज
come
धनुष
back
वाला
and
क्या नाम है
reload, of
उसका?
course, without
सोवा।
the guns, it still
सोवा तो
is.
बहुत अच्छा
सोवा।
कैरेक्टर है
Able to land
वो तो
the
होता ही है।
sharpest flicks down to
वही
just
तो,
Poppy.
ये तो
1 on
होता
4,
ही है।
not quite likely. The
सोवा
shorty in his
जेट ये
face,
तो
point
कंफर्म है।
blank for DFM to collect.
वो सब सही है, बेसौटी से मार दे रहे, बताओ अब इससे गंदी बेइज्जती क्या? स्प्लिट तो चलो जी जीत जाएगी, मैं भी मानता हूँ, और वहां पे हार गई ना तो फिर भाई अच्छा हुआ कि ये डिस्क्वालीफाई हो गए, क्योंकि कोई चांस ही नहीं था ये जीतते। फिर जब इनसे हार रहे हैं तो भाई
Definitely feeling that,
ये तो मजाक में ले रहे हैं
giving him that boost all throughout. Might even say
और इसके बाद से एक भी राउंड अगर डीएफएम जीती ना,
just kind of getting started.
ओवर है ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट के लिए, ओवर, कोई चांस ही नहीं होगा भाई, मैं बता रहा हूँ ना, कोई चांस नहीं होगा। और ये बंदे से मुझे और गुस्सा आ रही है, देखो क्यों दे रहे हो चेम्बर, डिफेंस पूरा मैटर करता है सेंटिनल पे, ठीक है? सेंटिनल हमारी टीम का ही जब ऐसा खेल रहा हो तो कैसे जीतेगी इससे डिफेंस में? अरे अरे एस हो सकता है इसका।
Now just holding back sight. Already in position for Art. This way they don't have to worry
ये
about.
तो एकदम मुंह पे ही घुसा लिया है अपना
monitor.
मॉनिटर।
Lots of angles to cover. Gia not watching for it.
पापी ये राउंड जीतना जरूरी है रे।
If Poppy remembers, Jin was
1v1
looking up, so he
है।
doesn't have to worry about heaven just yet. But there's still a lot of room to clear, and Art finds the timing, and it's gonna be a 9th round win.
Incredible.
उसका एज
Still
क्या
a little
संभाल
bit
लेगा?
too much for Poppy in that moment, but at the same time, just aren't
तो
able to
किसका एज
play
था?
to perfect.
चार किल था।
DFM, you know, getting a good read for how GE can play, and then just being able to find those counters.
इन किल यहाँ
GE trying to play with that as
ठीक है, और ये रहा लास्ट में, अच्छा नहीं मर गया, चौथा किल नहीं कर पाया।
but it's just still not quite enough.
2 से 3 बंदे चाहिए था यार इनमें।
But you're not getting space. I think that's the biggest problem right now. And at this point, they're basically just saying, Darian, we just gotta hope that you get some kills. I mean, let's be very honest, Darian's not exactly getting fully set up for this either. It's just a recon every start of the round.
भाई उदोतान भाई मार दे भाई, एक एस मार दे कम से कम, हार रहे हैं पता चल, समझ गए, मगर एक एस तो मार, कोई एक एस तो मारो।
You know, you're not quite able to react in time. Now with the outlaw being sounded off towards mid as well, you gotta respect it.
इतना गंदा तो मत हारो यार, एक दो तो मत हारो, मैं बोलूं तो हारते हो पर इतना तो मत हारो।
हमारा डिफेंस में ना चेम्बर जैसा सेंटिनल है, तो डिफेंस अच्छी नहीं हो रही ना, वो चीज किया है।
And for DFM, they can keep buying up. There's the first shot down towards mid.
डैरियन ले गया, वैंडल चला रहा है तब अच्छा खेल रहा है, वैंडल चलाने चाहिए डैरियन को, है ना? ऑपरेटर उडोटान अच्छा चलाता है, डैरियन को ऑपरेटर नहीं देना चाहिए।
If they don't know that Yudotan is here, he might be able to strike back once they flood through from stairs. But then you gotta watch out for Jinbung as well.
Yeah, the real question is Jinbung, does he catch Poppy? Uh-oh, he might have seen that gunfire as well.
काहे रस करना है पापी जनाब? Yudotan versus Jinbung.
But who's really locked with who right now? Yudotan already above him. Does he sniff it out? He does. He sees the gunfire. It's a 1v1. And it's going to be Jinbung who clears it nice and clean with the headshot.
Crouched down as well. Such a good read. Anticipates all of it in full. And now it's just a desperate play from Kelly S.
लास्ट राउंड है, 10-1 हो जाएगा, ये लास्ट राउंड नहीं है। 10 राउंड जीत लेंगे वो, और ये जीतेंगे एक।
Of the first half, and they really need to really hold on to their guns and find whatever advantage.
ये देखने के लिए मैंने देख रहा था, ये क्या है?
बोलेंगे जो बोले 19-20 पे का फर्क है।
You'd like to do whatever you can to make that ult happen in the first half again. But with 0 creds,
सेव कर रहा है,
just doesn't feel good. May just
ये ले भाई, ये तो उड़ गया भाई, और मजाक उड़ा रहा है भाई।
I mean, DFM, they know they're about to win this map.
मारा भी नहीं वो।
जेट था ना तो वो थोड़ा देर फ्लाई कर सकती है। वाह वाह रे वाह, ये देख, पीछे हो पीछे हो,
And you know the graphics team was having some.
ये देख, वाह रे वाह।
Individual skill, but trying to build out a map pool with someone standing.
ये लास्ट राउंड है, इसके बाद हाफ टाइम होगा।
You have to rework.
हाफ टाइम के बाद भी कमबैक कर सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है, बट फिर भी यार आज तक वीसीटी में ऐसा कमबैक नहीं हुआ।
इनके जैसा तो भाई नहीं कर पाएंगे मेरे हिसाब से, तो इनका गेम प्ले बहुत सही है, मैं बोलूँ तो इनका कुछ गेम प्ले ही नहीं है सामने वालों का।
डेरियन ऑपरेटर नहीं चला बस, और सब कुछ ओके है। चेंबर ना ले, वो उसने पिछली बार भी 2 बार चेंबर लिया था एंड दोनों मैच हार गए हम लोग, और इस बार भी उसने एक चेंबर लिया है, हम लोग ये मैच हार रहे हैं।
अनोखी है।
चेंबर अच्छा सेंटिनल नहीं है यार, दूसरा सेंटिनल लो बे। कौन यूज करता है चेंबर वीसीटी में? पापी 2 के साथ आता हुआ यार, एंड फाइनली एक राउंड।
सेंटिनल है,
हाँ?
कौन से 2 सेंटिनल है? तो कह रहा था सेंटिनल है, कौन से 2 सेंटिनल है?
2 सेंटिनल नहीं, ये चेंबर जैसा सेंटिनल यूज ही नहीं करते कोई वीसीटी में।
अरे तो भी एक ही है इनके में,
इनके में एक सेंटिनल है, हाँ वो है चेंबर। डिफेंस अब खत्म हो गया है, अब सेंटिनल का उतना काम नहीं है। देखते हैं 10 है, उनको 2 राउंड बस नहीं जीतने देने हैं, और बाकी बस सारे राउंड जीतने होंगे ग्लोबल ई-स्पोर्ट को।
Really got to stay locked in. Absolutely right, Chobra. The game is not over. Even if they do win this map, it still isn't
इनका मैच कैसे रोकते होंगे बीच में?
पापी है ना, थ्रो कर रहा है, और कैलियस पूरे सोच में है, उदोतान भी सोच में है, क्रिस्टल भी सोच में है। पापी मेरे को लग रहा है कि थ्रो कर रहा है। उनके
वो बंदा तो फ्री होके खेल रहा है, उसकी वजह से हार रहा है, वो फ्री होके खेल रहा है।
हाँ डेरियन तो फ्री होके खेल रहा है, पूरा हंस रहा है, खिख रहा है।
शायद पैसा है सामने वाली टीम से।
न्यू प्लेयर है डेरियन ऐसे।
It really is about clearing space and then holding on to it, pressuring the other team to move and make a mistake, really getting those forced errors out of the way. And DFM, I mean, they were pressing every single pressure point on the map in that first half.
Yeah, so much of it all throughout. Or even just holding in case someone does peek out at some point. You know, finding some of these moments against Darian, Yudotan at some points. So a lot of it really working out for them thus far.
अब राउंड 3 होगा, अब अटैकिंग करेंगी ना हमारी टीम, तो डिफेंडिंग को करनी है।
और उनके 2 सेंटिनल है ना,
तो नहीं पता, मैंने नहीं देखा था। 2 स्मोक है, स्मोक भी ठीक ठाक कर लेते भाई, 2 ठीक ठाक कर लेते स्मोक भी, मतलब सेंटिनल वाला रोल।
And now GE, they will have to complete a marathon if they want to extend this very first map of their elimination match, best of 3.
एलिमिनेशन मैच है, अरे टाटा बाय बाय।
एक ही मैच होगा क्या?
नहीं नहीं, 3 मैच होंगे और 2 मैच जीतने हैं। फिर भी यार बस देख यार क्या होगा। पिछला मैच हुआ था ना, देख पहला मैच जो इन्होंने खेला था, ठीक है, उसमें से पहला हार गए थे, 2 जीत गए थे, और फिर दूसरा मैच जो इन्होंने खेला, ठीक है, दूसरा मैच जो इन्होंने खेला उसमें से पहला मैच ये जीत गया और दोनों के दोनों हार गए। प्रीमी के अगेंस्ट था मैच, प्रीमी बहुत तगड़ा प्लेयर है। एंड अभी अभी तो खुद ही देख रहा है, पहला मैच हार रहे हैं।
Gets that first kill. Backup has arrived in the form of Vayne. He's got that Sheriff, and G-Eddie holds backside with the classics, opening up a little bit extra time, trying to get it there, but he misses, and it's going to be clears from Darion.
Right click, unfortunately, goes right by.
अब एक बाकी है, 1v2. 1v2.
All down to just Jinbong. Goes in for the wide swing. Spots out Darion with the ghost, so sharp on it, and repositions just to hold.
But Crystal's seen him, I believe. Jinbong has
भाई इसका नेक पे है में बे।
Crystal saw him on the cross. Looks like it. There's the shock dart. It's just gonna get the damage done. Jinbong closing the gap, and he finds the timing, going for the kill.
अरे बाप रे बाप, डरा दिया बे।
Still 35 seconds.
गा दिया बे।
Back sets up the star. Look at Crystal getting up with the
ओह ले
down
गया
with the
ले
classic. He
गया
love plays and gets the wall bang through around the edge. Picks up the pistol round for GE.
पिस्तौल उठाया इसने भाई
If you ever need
मारने
an
के लिए,
advertiser
ले
for
गया
the
पहला
GE
राउंड। चल
capsule,
भाई
I mean, just spam through. You're gonna be able to get that 1v1 clutch.
पिस्टल अच्छी जगह
That
है
was one of the
बंदा।
more tense pistol
डेरियन 2
1v1s
किल
he's
ले गया
had.
था और ये
Both
तीसरा
of
किल
them
में
just
हक दिया इसने।
trying to make sure they have the better angle, the better timing. And
पिस्तल
eventually
यूज
Crystal just
करते हैं
says,
ना,
"I've had enough
ग्लोबल
of
ई-स्पोर्ट
this."
वाला सब यूज करते हैं।
Pushes forward, bringing GE
ग्लोबल
to
ई-स्पोर्ट टीम
3.
है ना इनकी।
Still far.
वो कर
From the
रहे हैं
point to get
सेव।
excited, but now 5 buys. You got an outlaw, 2 guardians, 2 bulldogs, full firepower.
हाँ
in
तो
the end.
आउटलो किसके पास है? डेरियन पास ना, तो डेरियन अगर मारने का चांसेस ज्यादा है। डेरियन की तगड़ा खेलेगा।
Going. Drone out, and that's going to be
अरे।
Jimbo trying to come back in to check. Does spot it out.
ये वाली आउटलो भी
Outlaw
अच्छी है।
started off by Darren as well, though.
भाई आउटलो की तो दो ही स्किन है, अब जाके 3 हो गई है। ये तो पहले एक ही स्किन थी आउटलो की, वो थी यही। ये सबसे बेस्ट ही होती थी। अरे चल एक ले गया। टान उडो टान।
And he's good for 2. Good backup from his teammates as well.
Able to spam away Kami now. Onto his elevation, looking for anything possible with the classic, but nothing.
Udo Town
down,
3
and
kill.
GE will be able to pick up onto everything. It's a flawless round for them.
इंडिया का
moving
इंडिया का
forward.
प्लेयर है, मतलब इंडिया की
Gotta
टीम को
watch
खेल रहा है।
out
उडो टाउन
if you're
ड्यूलिस्ट
GE.
है।
Flawless to let them try to get a snowball going. This is. I mean,
मन कर रहा सो जाऊं।
I'm not saying it's close to a comeback or anything. Don't call it yet.
नींद
But it
बहुत
is the
लंबी आ
best
रही है।
scenario you could possibly
सोया नहीं ना
have for
रात को।
GE.
I'm going to wait for one more round at least before I start saying anything. This is going to be that full buy from DFM after all.
तू तो स्कूल जाने वाला था बे, सोया ही नहीं तू। लोल।
Need to do a little bit more in this round, but at least for now, DFM with their setups.
मैंने भाई सोचा
हाँ,
मोबाइल चला लो बट ना, मैंने सो जा भाई।
Changing up where they're hitting. It was A and then B, and now some pressure.
गया था।
It looks to be a mid to B pinch. It's just going to be a one-dimensional.
मैं सोया नहीं है
They're
यार।
going to keep going. The drone coming through. Fragment.
अकाने डैमेज है, अकाने डैमेज।
रुक जा, मेरा नेट जाने लग गया फिर से।
उडो टान, उडो टान, उडो टान।
For GE once more.
Rifle upgrade as well. Now continuing to hold against the back. Crystal watches it in case there is more. Poppy as well in case there are some rotations all throughout mid. Here's the footsteps getting the spray down. That's
Poppy.
the first one, but then the trade from Akame. At least strike down on towards B though. But Yudotan getting a little bit way too ahead.
All right, still 3 members for GE. They know that they're quite weak on the other side. Crystal going for the shock dart, trying to get that chip damage or maybe a cheeky little kill. Darian not able to land it. GE
अरे
for 2.
गेन ने तो मार दिया।
It's a 1v2.
1v2।
Both of them, one shot. Crystal. Oh,
अरे लोल।
May will continue to be leading for DFM. 30 HP. And he'll be able to
जी
close
भाई,
it out
थ्रो कर दिया।
alongside GN.
Just absolute assertion. May not slowing down. I mean, GE were the ones picking up the pace against DFM, but May says, okay, I'm ready to take that challenge down into 2-on-1. Just being able to take that against them. G had a good idea of trying to get that rush against with the B split, but DFM were able to get some of these kills across. I mean, look at Gian with the spray transfer. Getting a bit of a wall bang against Yudotan as well was such a good read from DFM.
Yeah, that spray was really good from GN. So starting to really showcase what he's good at. 17 and 6 right now for the rookie. May 12 and 9 as well. And I think that the endings of that round was just one of the more prime examples of a confidence play. Right? You called it. It's a 2v1. You're low on health, and May still just goes for the peak early first to get information, see if he can get a cheeky shot, and he wins that duel.
Really forcing G to really kind of pump the brakes again. Players out towards mid.
देखते हैं वे।
Setup wasn't so bad because you're checking for both angles. You were prepared to go for
इसलिए
the
देखते हैं ना,
trades.
क्योंकि जब वो पीक करते हैं ना,
A little bit of chip damage
तो वो
against
थोड़ा सा
GN.
करते हैं और मिनी मैप में देखते हैं आगे कोई बंदा है कि नहीं, और मिनी मैप में फिर शो कर जाता है ना, भले उनकी आंख ना देख रही वो बंदा, बट जो ये मैप है ना उसमें दिख जाता है कि उसने उसको देखा, उसके कैरेक्टर ने। इस तरीके से वो पता कर लेते हैं कि वहां पे एक बंदा है। अरे ये मुझे अभी अभी पता चला खुद ही। अबे उदुतान नहीं है ये।
And Poppy
एस है अपोनेंट टीम का।
against the back line. Jingbong looking for the ace. He peeks out off the recon and gets the ace under his belt. Jingbong for DFM.
एस मार दिया भाई।
And that's how you
कैसे
set
मारा
up
वो
your
तो देख,
teammates
वो वहाँ
for
पे
this
तोड़ रहा
one.
था
A
सोबा का
nice
डार्ट।
recon. Good timing. Jinbeng putting that on the board for himself.
देख।
What a hold. And meanwhile, I gotta say from GE, I still just fixated on all sorts of angles, but not Jinbeng, the one that's been getting the frags. Just nice and calm crosshair placement from Jinbeng. A lot of us have praised him throughout the offseason, even in the opening match here for DFM, but continues to prove that value, now shooting up to
3 लगा था मैच
4-9,
यही
but
जीत
also
जाएगी।
just util has gotten even
तीन
better.
नहीं, दो
जीत
जीत गए
गई
तो गेम खत्म।
So much.
क्या?
G are
दो
truly
जीत गए तो
forced
गेम
to
खत्म।
pull everything out of all the
इसके
stops
बाद
since the
दो
play
जीत
from
गई तो।
Yudotan, but May looking to get ahead
अरे
of it.
लो
Just outside the smokes, he goes for the
अरे
peek.
नहीं मारा,
Bit of
चल
one
बची।
tap whiffed. He's gonna dash right back.
Yeah, notices one too many people, but that's
इसके
the
बाद
call
दो
for
जीत
DFM
गई
to push
तो,
out of B main. Akame
या
gets
फिर
the kill
टोटल
there,
दो।
and
क्या चीज?
Crystal trying to get through, and you do have
टोटल दो
Yudotan
या
trying to
फिर
be a
दो
menace,
जीत
but
गई तो।
eventually it's all members
मतलब?
down on the site.
नहीं सुना मैं, यहाँ पे सुन
टोटल
रहा
दो
था।
मैच हार गई तो
Quick
या
enough to make
फिर
it happen now.
दो
Arts
मैच और
just trying to retake a little bit more
हारे
space
तो।
from heaven, find some sight lines.
देख,
Found.
3 मैच होते हैं,
Yeah, they know the
क्या?
location of each of their pods.
उनमें से 2 कोई भी जीत गई, वो फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि पहले वाले 2 जीती हो या आखिरी वाले,
No
बस
reason
2 जीत गई वो
to
बिना।
give them an early rotation to try to catch up.
अच्छा,
You just need that
मतलब
one
टूर्नामेंट
extra
में होता है
round. You wait
वो
for the chance that you can get.
Backed up into the
5 वाला बस
just one round.
ग्रैंड
Close
फिनाले
out
में।
this first map. GE
हाँ
showing a
वो
bit
तो
of
होता है
resilience.
BO फाइनल्स
So
में,
far for GE, I mean,
सेमीफाइनल्स
the few
वगैरह में होता
successes
है
they've had here coming in is
Kick
really
off
just
चल रहा है
when
ना।
they're able to go for those rushes. Okay, all right, okay.
मजाक में मारते हैं क्या
I
बंदे?
mean, he gives them their ults, but he'll
ये
get people
आखिरी
more
है,
towards
क्या
this
चीज?
as well.
मजाक में मारते हैं क्या बंदे?
मजाक में मारते ना,
You get
सीरियस
ready for your
खेलते हैं
game.
सब।
You know, they'll get their ults at some point anyway. You maybe just pass on
नहीं
this
इतना गंदा
round
फाड़ता
and
है।
focus on when you're able to go for a combo yourselves. But it's really been the rushes, right? I mean, sure, eventually Crystal lost that 1v2 in the bonus. But even that one, getting onto the site, it's about the fast hits. That's where GE has been able to
देख
shine.
मजाक में मार दिया
Holding
उसको।
that default at the very start. The problem becomes, at what point does DFM
अबे तू
catch
क्यों
on?
कूद रहा वहाँ?
Because you don't
तू
have
उधर
any
पहुँच।
chances if you're GE. You have no way to adapt after DFM has course corrected.
Absolutely one of those things to consider and thinking about what that could mean for some of
Holding
the
गया है।
as well, given how
सब थ्रो कर रहे हैं, सब थ्रो कर रहे हैं, जी वाले सब थ्रो कर रहे हैं, सब रस कर रहे हैं ऐसे ही।
Yudotan now looking to lead the charge, sees the Odin Tracers, goes up through from bridge. Oh, but knocked out by the Rolling Thunder. Crystal able to strike back.
They're taking over all the way into the back of sight, but they'll just yield and decides to go for the plant onto the bridge. Cosmic Divide does go down, but DFM, they're going to wait for backup to arrive. Jinbeng, last one, coming up in mid. Crystal trying to push them out of more comfortable positions. Gets a tag as well. That's health
क्या
down
आ
for
रहा है
mid.
इसमें?
Whoa! What in the
Oh.
world is that drop shot? Gets
ये
him
कैसे
through
गिर
the
गया?
wall. Darian getting
मुझे भी
stunned.
नहीं
There's
पता।
the Yard. And with the Odin. And now they just slowly start to creep towards the spike. Cosmic Divide, how in the world are you going to defend this one? Oh no, the ability
अरे अब इनको सुनाई भी नहीं दे रहा कि कब डिफ्यूज होगा, कब क्या होगा, क्योंकि कैरेक्टर्स के लिए यूज है।
Trying to block the wall, hold the door. Can they do it? No.
1v1
Time passed. Crystal going for the calculations, and yes, it is.
चलो
GE will stay alive once more.
Down to just pandemonium and chaos, and with the wire as well, GE managed to keep themselves inside of it all.
धीरे धीरे कमबैक कर रही है टीम।
But it came
धीरे
so
धीरे
close
क्या
for
फायदा यार,
DFM,
एक राउंड अगर वो लोग
almost
जीत
blew
गए ना
the
तो
big
सब
game. I
खत्म।
gotta imagine, I gotta see
अब
how
इनको है ना
that
2
shot
मैचेस जो होंगे ना
happened for
उन
me.
पे फोकस करना
Oh,
पड़ेगा।
I mean, just drop, sees the elbow, goes for it. That's a confidence play right there. And Crystal just knowing that that's the only option. You had to just push through. You had to get them off of it. But a lot of desperation used. You have to rely on that tour de force.
टेरियन
now.
अल्ट के साथ है, कुछ खेलता नहीं है ढंग का। ले अल्ट भी
And it's been
बर्बाद हो
taken
गया।
away, just
मतलब
like
टाइम
that.
है, रुकना पड़ेगा इसको
Now
अल्ट के
they
लिए।
know the location of it
आ गया
and the setup. So now the stack. Look at DFM. Instead of pushing out elsewhere, instead of saying we're going to try to get a lot more space, we have lesser weapons, but we also know you guys have been liking to rush.
मैं बोलूँ गे को रखना चाहिए। गे को क्या? सेंटिनल है क्या?
इनिशिएटर।
Can he stay alive? Can he get the
Initiator,
kills? No,
सही
he
तो है।
doesn't get the kill right off the peak. Jinbeng slowly.
गे को रखना चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से तो। गिर तो
रखते हैं वे बहुत
सही
लोग
क्या
यूज
रखता
करते
है।
हैं टूर्नामेंट में।
अरे स्पाइक नीचे गिर गई तो क्या होगा?
इस मैप में
स्पाइक
नीचे
गिर
गिरती
नहीं सकता।
दोबारा आ जाती है, कहीं भी तुम नीचे गिरोगे ना दोबारा ऊपर आ जाएगी।
कहीं और जगह
अब खत्म है 3v2 है।
He's aware of the wraparound though. With this much time, you guys aren't fighting us.
हो
What
सकता है
could
तो
be
भी।
the answer? Waiting for GN, but GN also waiting.
They
क्या
can
पड़ेगा
keep
बे?
waiting. 30 seconds and Spike is down.
Exactly.
सेकंड है ये दोनों नहीं।
Okay, that's a double.
डेरियन ले गया
20 seconds.
1v1। डेरियन के पास स्नाइपर है, गया डेरियन गया। नोटिस नहीं किया उसने।
They both have no idea where they are.
और ये
दोनों
दोनों
ने नोटिस
नुबड़े।
नहीं किया।
हाँ
Senses are
डेरियन,
guessing
अरे
first.
डेरियन
Spike's still not
Oh,
clear.
man.
Senses
Oh.
are not but Darian will go for safety checks once
एक
more.
राउंड। अरे गन ले
Brings
लिया इसने।
GE to 7.
7 is
चल
getting close,
भाई।
Cobra. 7 is getting close. This entire round was close. DFM had it.
उसको सब सुना रहे होंगे भाई, तेरे क्या दिखता नहीं है अंधे तो?
अबे किसी को नहीं दिखा बे, वो उनकी स्क्रीन देख, उसकी स्क्रीन में सब ऐसा दिखा। वो हमें दिख रहा था ना वो बंदा है, बट इसे नहीं दिख रहा था वो चीज। ना इसकी टीम को पता था, सब शिफ्ट वॉल करके चल रहे थे ना, तो आवाज भी नहीं सुनाई दे रही थी कौन कहाँ है। बस स्लो चलना बड़ा काम का होता है।
Darian, so he doesn't need that tour de force anymore, but it is a stack from DFM. It's a 4-man trap setup for that play storm. There's May, but there's the run.
ये रश कर रहे हैं, क्रिस्टल एक को ले गया। क्रिस्टल और रे भाई सब तीन ले गए। इंडिया की टीम 3 ले गई।
Holds out to the back line and now waiting for the smoke to dissipate before they rush and send a full commit. Gravwell just to defend off and hold Jinbum alongside Jin. Can they make it happen? Doctor was the off angle.
अरे जीत गए। अरे उसने ऑलमोस्ट सारे निकाल लिए थे यार।
DFM
8 9 10 11 12 और 4 राउंड जीतने हैं। बस हग ना दे कहीं ये।
Couple members
4
still
राउंड
able to
जीतने
buy
हैं।
one more time in the next round. You can still get by with the half armors, but look at this. All the different things already covered. I mean, it's a good read from GE. As soon as they get an inkling of it, they reset.
Just feel as though
टाइम आउट ले लिया DFM ने। अरे अपसाइड DFM जीत जाए। टाइम आउट ले लिया ना, अपसाइड रिदम टूट जाएगा उनका। ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट का इतना कमबैक जो कर रहे थे।
That they get that one round they need. Went to overtime last time against RQ as well. Yes, thanks to some of the heroics, especially from May, they were able to really push through on that one. But you don't want to risk that when you were in the lead for so very long.
not super vocal on the screens right now, but at least, you know, recognizing
पापी भी सीरियस हो गया, उदुतान भी सीरियस हो गया, डेरियन भी सीरियस, सब सीरियस हो गए हैं अब पूरी ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट की टीम ही सीरियस लग रही है मुझे। उनको कमबैक करना है ना, अब शायद वो ज्यादा सीरियस हो।
And it looks like the GE coaches perhaps reminding their players of that, just sticking to the plan, making sure they relay all information. Crystal went away from the Huntress Fury, but otherwise, GE a little dry on the ult, but obviously strong weapons in hand. DFM, meanwhile, Cosmic Divide available for that retake, so they'll leave that A site open. They'll stack on to B.
Will that work out in favor of GE though? Quick peeks out in towards A. Udotan.
अबे यार मैं कहता हूँ ना, कुरनामी नहीं चलानी चाहिए, बहुत रिकॉइल करती है।
The kill, which is very fortunate for DFM, because now they can mask information on if there's been backup, how many people are there, and exactly which agent are going to be taking their positions on A once more.
Still though, a little bit of intel there for GE, only spotting out Art. The drone coming back into Reclair as well, and that now is when GE kind of regroups, preparing for that assault into the A site.
I like this from GE. You masked that information, but you didn't see anyone peek out from mid. So now you have the reverse reading that DFM has to be holding far back. DFM trying to get ahead of it with the timing. We do see Jinbung trying to clear out mid, but already the execute has begun onto the A site.
Flash drawn out as well. Now just for DFM to hold. Rotation starting to come across, but Udotan already towards back site. Art trying to stay and hold out towards heaven, looking for some potential spams. Nothing quite just yet. Everyone able to dodge everything.
Yeah, and the bridge plan as well, so they weren't at danger on default. There's a Cosmic Divide, but look at the position of Yudotan. He's going to be able to get info from the back side. Meanwhile, holding close, Art already gets one kill. Meanwhile, in the back, no, it's going to be Crystal still getting the kills from long range.
Crystal, nice.
But now the flood has begun. The gates have opened, and May starts to push out.
Operator.
Good on the trade, and May has to push 1v1, and he gets it. Their hero answers the call once again to close out the very first match.
Oh, टाइम आउट लेने का बहुत फायदा रहा है। देखो मैं कहता हूँ जो टाइम आउट लेता है वो अगले राउंड जीतता है। बोला था ना मैंने।
मानता हूँ भाई। हाँ यार, इतना अच्छा कमबैक करती हिस्ट्री बन जाती, पता है। रुक मैं Valorant
showing off the scoreboard there. I don't know what he's telling GN, but maybe just congratulating GN on the number of kills as well. Tied together with May at 17, Jinbung at 21. Really racking up those kills as that semi-sentinel on the Astra. But DFM, yes, it took a little bit longer, but going to be very happy about their first map choice of Abyss.
Yeah, definitely can keep that one in their books for now. Meanwhile, though,
on map 2G ये तो कमबैक करेगी 2 मैप में, क्योंकि वो मैप उनका स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट है। मैं आता हूँ टॉयलेट करके, तब तक वैलोरेंट को है ना स्टार्ट होने दे, ठीक है? थर्ड में सही बात है यार, टाइम आउट यार जिताया यार। मतलब जीत गई थी, 1v2 था, बट ये दोनों को मार दिया इसने। ऑपरेटर ले रखा था ना, हक दिया उस ऑपरेटर वाले ने।
Right now in this studio, what they have to focus on is going to be that next map. You can retool that later, maybe in another match kickoff, maybe for stage 1, but it's not the time to think about that. You've warmed up, now you got to focus on your own map pick as they get ready for the second map.
And that's truly what it is, because we still have a full series on our hands. GE definitely doing so much on Split thus far. Right now it's DFM's time to shine, but can they continue shining onto the second map?
Yeah, curious to see. I mean, there was, I think, a very stark difference in comfort level here on Abyss. So it's still a little bit hard to tell exactly who's going to feel more confident, who's going to feel more fluid going into the next map. But for the time being, DFM, they'll be able to celebrate in the back and now bring that confidence back out for the second map, while GE, they'll have to focus on what worked as they prepare for another battle against DFM. We'll send it over to the analyst desk to break down the action.
आज मुझे स्टोर में क्या मिला है? प्राइम गार्जियन जीरो फैंग नाइफ one of the best knife game.
On Abyss, Global Esports has been regularly struggling on this map, and it looks like they still have yet to figure it out. DFM though, everything.
और हर दूसरी चीज मेरे पास पैसे भी नहीं हैं.
On B with a little bit of an Easter egg hunt, but still they close it out.
Yeah, I think when things get dicey for them, that's where May really needs to step in. It was a similar story against RRQ when they really started struggling, is when May pulled out the hero plays, but I really can't fault their overall read, particularly in the first half, and their attacking side. They did a great job kind of neutering the chamber and minimizing Darion's impact, as did Talon in a different way. They really used utility a lot to push him off the lines. DFM was just killing him.
Yeah, you could just tell, I feel like they...
ये देख मेरा कलेक्शन में white और blue रखने का चाह रहा हूँ, इनको हटाना पड़ेगा मुझे। इस बार का battle pass कैसे देखूँ मैं?
Won and lost in that. I mean, we saw GE start to make a comeback, but your cushion isn't just big enough. When you start to pick up steam, you just don't have the
white and blue.
Any mistakes, and we
see white and blue का मुझे कोई guardian skin लेना पड़ेगा। जो तो white में हो, ठीक है?
This is not a good look for Global Esports right now, but I've seen enough matches here in kickoff to know that the first map might just mean nothing for the overall match result. So this is a good win for DFM, and I'm going to be curious to break down
Split of defense, big attack,
because both of these teams are also quite good at Split. Jinbung continues as our MVP. I think overall so far in this tournament he's been pretty solid.
He's done very well for himself, playing the Astra as well. That pseudo sentinel on the attack he was getting his, very, very solid. The controller I really want to give a lot of props to is GN. I mean, he played a lot better in this game, particularly in the first half. He was to start off the game, and even in the early rounds of defense, He did pretty well.
कमबैक
for
होगा उनका,
DFM.
मैं नहीं चाहूंगा भाई ऐसा कुछ हो
The
भाई।
rest of DFM slowed down a little bit.
ये सही है,
early on here,
Araxis।
It really felt like
Nice,
DFM was
बेकार है।
spamming the sides over and
Araxis
over and over
Guardian।
again and going for these executes time and time
मैं
again.
white वाले-
And what GE really struggled with, especially against the
White
double
and
controller,
blue combination
is the
लेता हूँ ना, तो
retakes.
मेरे लिए
It
सही
felt like
है।
they were waiting out the smokes, but the thing is,
क्या
it's
था
not normal
Araxis
smoke
का
timing.
वो
You see
वो
it
वाला
there
वर्जन
on
ना?
Heaven, the refresh of the dark cover on
देखो
top of the
ऑपरेटर भी
nebula,
मैच कर रहा है
you
इनसे,
just-
कितना
if you
सुंदर
wait
कर रहा है
too
मेरा
long,
ऑपरेटर।
we'll never find that clean avenue to be able to complete the retake if you're waiting out these smokes, because with
यहाँ
the
पे भी
double
कुछ
controller,
white कलर का
you
मेरे
just
को
keep
चाहिए।
cycling
Alexis
around
का
forever.
knife
And
अच्छा है
DFM,
बस।
it was very clear to me their approach
Araxis
was
का
to
knife है
stand
ये,
against
ये
the
अच्छा
chamber.
है।
Yeah, I think this round is also
ये वाला
really
नहीं।
crucial. We see what Chamber wants to do is he wants to
अबे तो ये
explore
पहला
the
knife है,
those
यही
veins.
रियल है, ये
DFM
2.0 है
really
इसका।
understand this and they're just
हाँ,
waiting
2.0
for him
वाला
to
अच्छा
push.
है।
We see exactly the same thing
हाँ
in
भाई,
this round as
पैसे भी
well.
बहुत
Very
अच्छे लगे थे,
unlucky
इतना तो
dodge
तुझे पता
story.
भी
May-
होगा।
May moves across to the
तूने
other
कौन सा
side.
निकाला?
He's so
हाँ,
ready
मैंने
for
पैसे
Darion
नहीं
to
लगाए
come
क्योंकि
out
मैं
of
नहीं
this
लगाता था।
They understand what GE wanted to do with the chamber and shut it down very, very well
कौन
to
निकालेगा भाई,
establish
इतना
that
महंगा भाई।
dominant first half.
Yeah, I
ये
think
मैं-
if they play Abyss
Mm.
again, I know
तो ऐसे
Darion
में
can play
कुछ-
Cypher, like, I don't think the Chamber's been working very
और
well.
white
When it
कलर का
does,
कुछ मिल नहीं
it
रहा।
feels
हाँ,
like
ये है
its
ना।
team's making mistakes against GE's attack and Darion given too many
बट
opportunities.
बटरफ्लाई नाइफ ज़्यादा अच्छा है।
ये भी वही कह रहा है,
You know,
डेरियन ने
you're making a
बहुत
case for their comp.
अपॉर्चुनिटीज थी, डेरियन ही
And
गलत
we can
निकला।
understand the thought process that goes behind this. This is a comp that we kind of just need to throw away and work on something new.
I don't think they should throw it away. I don't think
Butterfly
it's not
knife
that
निकालना
bad.
ही
How
इसका
it
है।
has power on attack
ये
also.
मुझे अच्छा
And
लगता
I
है।
think
बटरफ्लाई नाइफ
sort of
से
the
यार
issue when you're
कौन
playing
सा निकालूं
chamber is a
बटरफ्लाई
lot of it
नाइफ?
comes down to execution.
वाला
You
आ
need your
सकता है मेरे
chamber
पास
guys to be
अभी।
popping off.
RGX
It does change how you're
RGX
playing
RGX
the
नहीं
game
पसंद
against
मुझे,
you. It's just
RGX बटरफ्लाई
DFM
नाइफ।
were very, very prepared. It's more, I want to see that second layer.
ये
of
सही है,
support
white and
from
blue।
DFM are gonna
Nice.
stand there and wait for the
बेकार।
chamber. Then he doesn't have to go. We can just delay that time. You can be on a deeper angle. That's what I
अरे
want to see. I
अरे
wanna see them
मेरे को
develop
व्हाइट
that
एंड
comp a
ब्लू
little bit
चाहिए
more
कुछ
into
भाई,
the
व्हाइट
next
एंड
step.
ब्लू, या तो व्हाइट
Now
हो
let's see
इसके
मिल-
जैसा।
how much
ये
these
कुरुनामी।
teams have both learned. We're gonna
कुरुनामी
go
नाइफ
into
का
the second
प्राइस
half
भी
of
तो
split. Let's break
बहुत
this
ज्यादा
down.
है
Now
ना।
both of these teams have
हाँ,
done
बेस्ट
well
नाइफ
with
भी
the
है गेम
last
में,
time
नॉट
we've seen
गोना
them play.
lie।
DFM hasn't played it this kickoff. The last time we saw it was at the Radiant Asia Invitational. They played against Paper Rex, and by the way, the winner
कल मेरे
of
को
this will
कुरुनामी
be
वैंडल आई थी,
facing
मैंने
off
स्किप कर दिया,
Paper
मुझे
Rex, and
चाहिए
DFM
थी।
did beat Paper Rex rather
कुरुनामी नाइफ
in
सही
a
है
very
बट
close overtime match
हाँ ना।
against them on split
ये भी
with
मेरे को
one
बहुत अच्छा
different
लगता
player.
है।
Global Esports in the meantime. Also, 2 times they've showed it this tournament, and it was dominant against Talon and
तो पहले बकर बकर कर रहा है, इसको ऑफ करते हैं, नेक्स्ट मैच स्टार्ट होगा तो स्क्रीन पे लाएंगे। एक ये है आरजेक्स की करैम्बिट, ये भी बहुत अच्छी है।
पर वही अच्छा है। वो देखा उसका एनिमेशन स्पीड से मजा आता है।
भाई अच्छा तो मुझे भी लगता है यार बहुत।
कलर दिखाता है ना, कलर मस्त है।
अबे अटक गया, चल जाओ। ये देख,
ये देख
नामी वैंडल स्किप कर दिया, कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं ना? मेरे को तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, मेरे पास प्रीलूज है एंड प्रीलूज का ये ब्लू पर ये वेरिएंट मैं यूज़ करूँगा, नहीं तो इसका मैं ये यूज़ करूँगा भाई। ये यूज़ नहीं करूँगा, ये डीमन 1 करता है क्योंकि वाइट रहना है ना। मेरे को मन कर रहा है एक डेथ मैच खेलूँ भाई, मन कर रहा है उस ऑपरेटर को चलाऊँ। वो ऑपरेटर कितना ब्यूटीफुल है। वहां दिखे या ना दिखे भाई, मुझे जो मेरी आंखों को दिखता है ना, क्या मस्त ऑपरेटर लगता है मुझे। DS trash, DFM is
Warm up.
एक मिनट रुकिए। Your fear is drag. Drag them down. Sniper scope रहेगा. रहेगा sniper. वाह.
Out not finding it, they'll go for the re-clear. May going to be all alone. May versus Yudotan on the Rays. This is also going to be a fun fight right there. It's just a trade for trade.
Okay, and allows for G to at least flood in through, but Jinbook does spot a lot of it all out. But oh no, the whiffs! It's going to be the pickup from Kelly S instead, but Akame able to answer right back in with a classic! The third kill! Picked up!
I mean, literally fighting for his life. Trapped in by the barrier mesh, has only a way out behind him. And he just goes for 3.
What?
But it's Poppy in a clutch situation. Turns on that switch for the clutch. Whenever he's left alone, we'll put up that smoke. He still has a lot of time as well, so he can try to fish for these 1v1s if he wants to.
He's heading back towards top ramp as well. Ooh, Poppy spots out the first, and that's Jen down. Okay, now has an option to head on over all the way through to B, but you gotta read the timing of how they're able to rotate.
Yeah, they do have a faster point. Art ready for it. He's gonna let him drop. He wants to wait for the 2v1. I love that patience from Art because you have the numbers advantage. Knows the position, going to plant safe.
10 seconds left.
Oh, nice little jiggle back and forth from Art. That's going to be DFM to close things out. And just the patience from Art really paying off. The 2v1, sending the Trailblazer as well. I like that commitment to the creds used because it's just going to confirm his position, but also delay time so that he doesn't really have a choice.
Yeah, it's just a smart play with the 2-on-1 at the end of it, but still, what this setup from DFM. I mean, May had no escape plan whatsoever. It was just there to pick up as much as he could. And then on the other side from Akame, how on earth was he so calm in picking up those 3 kills? Now, that gives them so much on towards the next round with the guns that they've got. May on the Marshall, still marking down ramp. Oh,
yeah,
gets the
that's
first
gonna be
one.
1. Good for 2. Could get 3, maybe 4, and he'll get it. Only 1 left. Poppy once again all alone, but I don't think he's gonna find as much success with just the classic.
नहीं कर रहा भाई
Might be
support
the
globally
G
support.
capsule, but it's gonna be so
ऐसा
much
play.
distance he has to cover. Akame just dragging him across. He's baiting him towards the ace. He's calling May over. He's running over. He's only got 46 HP.
Yo, Poppy's like, I know what you're trying to do.
Oh, GN just gonna take the kill himself. Yeah, Poppy says, you know what? If I am gonna go down, it's not gonna be to the ace. And also,
the showstopper.
Yeah, the guy with the showstopper. So I think he did make the best choice he could right there.
Jeez. But what a way to set things up. I mean, I don't know if you're going to be changing this anytime soon. May's just feeling that sharp.
I mean, you give him the Marshall, anti-eco. This guy's always going to bring you extra frags. Now, you do have the buys, you do have the full armors. But the real question is where do you go? You haven't really explored B yet, so GE, they are going to spread out on the default.
Me onto it's to Judge outside of Garage.
Okay,
Wah,
Paranoia drawn out just to delay for any push because of that grav net. So it is a decent interaction on the side of GE because now you don't have that much delay. However, the sheer wall still not quite discovered.
Got Jinbung outside of screens as well on A site.
So DFM, they've chosen to stack towards the B side, right? You look at the trips, it's really just to get information. Did they go through Heaven? Did they go through Vents? Are they actually on the site yet? Did I miss that? And until then, he's just going to stay out of the site. They're going to go for a retake if it comes down to it on the A side. Now with enough time passed, they will bring May over.
Yeah, minute round left on the clock. In a round where G really wants to make it count. So clearing as much as possible. Maybe not the sheer wall, but that does inform quite a bit to DFM.
Oh, and look at the setup from DFM as well. They were holding close on B Heaven to really push them towards A. So regardless of trip or not, right now, DFM are just going to wait until they get on site because you have May on there with the Judge, one away from the showstopper.
First point of contact. So that's already enough info. Everyone's starting to rotate over. Jinbung trying to hold May in with a Judge inside of the smoke as well. Swings out at the right time. Oh, but not the one onto Yudotan. So that allows for GE to really spread their wings across the entire site. Spike down, watching for screens, Crystal.
Yep, 4-man still alive. It was a good haunt that forced May out of position that allows them to clean that up with only one casualty. They would love to be able to keep all 4 weapons, all 4 pieces of armor as well. Peeking out, Akame, very quick flick down. Crystal trying to play the mind games, but Akame, it's really up to him to try to get more information.
One enemy remaining.
Gets caught by Yudotan on the cross, and Crystal will get the close range kill. And while it's not 4 weapons, GE will be safe to carry over 3 and full armor.
Good read on the macro from DFM, but that said, still, it is GE who have been able to flush that really effectively. You know, even out from Abyss as well. Just being able to kind of get a read for how they want to kind of flood in through from elbow, or even just anticipating that, hey, this smoke looks a little bit suspicious, and then also finding that quick flick on towards May as well.
So overall, DFM maybe a bit of a all-in towards May with the Judge, but GE, they'll take whatever they can get, trying to get back into the momentum swing themselves. A tough map 1 loss, and now already on the back foot.
Still though, DFM looking to strike back. It's going to be May with that op. Has the ult in hand as well in case he needs to escape. A bit more mailroom holds from DFM.
2-1 का score. क्या गंदा जीत रहा है पिछला.
Pop it right away as the smoke ends. That way, even though you're not
Group
getting
map
clear information, you know that they aren't getting across it just yet. They
All
can
are
play
right.
further with the guiding light, and DFM continues to keep them at bay. They're purposely leaving mid open. You have ramps control and you have A site control for the time being. You've got the trips to delay as well. The only one I'm worried about is Art, right? He's in ramp, but at what point do you choose to push out? Well, that's going to be it. They see the cyber cage and no one there, so they say, okay, it is safe to take full A main control.
Then to hold the crossfire, possibly peek out for more information. So maybe sensing that A is kind of clear. It's all down to Jin to hold, but unfortunately wall banged through. May has to land and connect.
Yeah, May just going to back out. Doesn't want to deal with any of that with the op in his hand. Something we haven't really noticed just yet, and I don't know if GE has full information.
Jinbung, though, has made his way all across from attacking spawn.
It's a timing fight, but quite frankly, I don't see a reason for Poppy to not be looking this way. He's constantly turning around to see if a crossfire is needed, but right now he can just focus on the back, and he'll be able to clean out the flank. Meanwhile, Showstopper, it gets shut down. Crystal with a nice timing. Away, and then shuts it down. That's DFM having to run away. Tail tucked in, op dropped.
And unfortunately, the heavy investment's all gone for naught. And it just is GE being able to really pull and push across the map in that fashion, forcing DFM to look, to be honest, a little bit lost.
I mean, they purposely gave up that mid control, and I like that they pushed out on A main as well, but as soon as GN drops, there actually wasn't really any extra layer of delay and cover in heaven, so May has to give up the site. At that point, the shear wall doesn't really provide much value because you've already given up full site control. You didn't have main control, and at that point, you've already lost half of the map. So just that one position, something that DFM's going to have to consider is if we're going to push out because we gave up mid, maybe we have to push out from both sides of the map.
Especially with May on that op as well, just couldn't quite hang on to sight for too long. So the next round now coming through, just swapping some of those weapons on over, right? 2 hero rifles.
And just going to be that default hold. May tucked in at ramps. It's going to be Jinbum watching from afar. Has that cam ready to set things up for May. Okay, it's going to be clear from heaven. GE, they smell something fishy. So they will just hold. Just trying to make DFM antsy about not having information. How hungry are you really on this kind of half-buy round with this rifle saved over? Akame, he's gone, but he gets one. That's the best he could hope for.
Yeah, not too bad. Still is kind of open across the map, though, for GE to really push up. So now still kind of wondering about that A main, right? Or that top of A ramps. Calling in for the reinforcements now. Maybe with the Prowler, Crystal can come back in to check and clear the corners.
Oh, that Trailblazer getting taken out by Poppy, but from the Ramen side really throws off DFM because you're not quite sure was he on the cross or not because he waits for it and just shoots it down. So they get the ping down onto Ramen, but they will just have to stick with their choice and give up that A site. It's going to be a very safe plan. Planted for heaven. Barrier mesh already online by screens. You have a main control with that tripwire. Now, no vision, no info on heaven. So we'll see if DFM can find a timing to pinch onto ramps.
GE, though, still able to hold it. Just right around the side of ramps. Being able to mark the other ends as well. 2 players.
This could get dicey. The timing of that trip. Oh, they're just going to send May out to scout first. And now, going for the swings one by one. Art wins it first, but it's still going to be a trade in favor of Jinbum. 2 left on the site.
The timer continues to tick. Crystal peeks out into heaven. Down to just Jinbum, where Kellyes knows all. So GE picks up the round rather effectively.
Yeah, I mean, again, given the fact that you only have the 2 rifles carried over, sure, you get what you can. You got some old points. But I would have loved to see a bit more of a timing there on the trip. Maybe bait something out with the trip first because you know you have to get through it. But at the end of the day, it's going to be GE. GE, we of course, are very happy with that one. The round's starting to play out the way they pictured them so far. The operators not coming out anymore. DFM will have to stick with the half armors to make sure they have a couple more rounds in the bank.
Well, at least to start things off, you know, trying to come back in with that mid presence. The Razorvine, though, quickly eliminated.
Yeah, G's starting to get a read on a lot of these default util setups. But are they ready? Are they ready for the trap? They are! It's a double swing and a nice drop with the shorty. Good switch out on the weapon from Yudotan.
GE being able to find some of these little gaps now up for Darren to maybe try to slip through, while mid, though, continues to go under contention. Akame coming back in for the fight. Takes down 2 before Kellyes trades.
Yeah, Crystal hesitated a bit on that swing and gave enough time for the reset. Meanwhile, Darian, he's barely going to win out on the fight over on A. That opens up the site on the A side. Only 2 members remaining on DFM, but look at the health of Kellyes. Down to 1 single point of HP. Ooh. Oh, man, that was looking very close. Darian also not much health, so they really just have to win their first duels each. May, scared of getting spammed through.
Also for GE needing to hold further defensive position, so all the way towards the back of main, maybe coming back up for that timing play against Heaven.
So this, yeah, looks like it's really just meant to be for Darian to get a timing. Oh, the rifle taken away, but now they know about the pressure from behind. So DFM rushing onto the site. They can try to take the gravity well out. It's being used up. Rifles should be back.
Managed to trap. Oh, Kellyes with the wide swing, a little bit too much. Allows for Akame to get the shot in. Now down to just Darian. Poppy's already gone. Not quite able to land it. Akame strikes back against GE.
Great shots coming out from Akame, holding true, really guarding his teammate May as he goes through with it, with a lower health as well. So really, he was just meant to be the bodyguard, but he makes it work for DFM. And right here, I love that he's wary of the swing out, and by then, it's too late for Crystal to try to swing out on the trade.
A little bit way too much, so despite the spike planted, still DFM being able to hold and fight back.
Oh wow, okay, 3-3, and that goes for a timeout. Really feels like, oh, DFM wanted it. Okay, I guess just depending on how that round already panned out before they were able to clutch things down, I can see that, right? You're losing control of the site. You're looking at 2 people going up against 3. You're saying, okay, we're losing too much control. I don't mind it too much, but obviously maybe the hype being cooled off just a bit as well.
Still just needing to kind of find that rest, but at the same time thinking about some of these setups, which, like we mentioned before, are already starting to get read by GE, right? The Razor Vines all towards mid, constantly getting broken. So seeing some pings across the map right now as to how they might want to change things up. Still wanting to control mid quite a bit, especially with some kind of a threat player or just to watch the exits events.
See what the switch-ups are. Is there any chance of a bit of a more aggressive position on one part of the map and really trust the Vice util? Because here's the thing, the sheer wall being set up over by B, it was just never getting tripped. Yeah, G just didn't care, so there's a switch up. Just gonna go for a passive setup on the A side. Sheer wall to trap anybody coming in through main.
That might be able to work in slowing things down for G, who have been heading towards A repeatedly. Still just full sending it though. Showstopper all alone, he's been spotted. Akame cleans up the kill, and now you're already able to fill up the site. Nightfall goes through, they're trying to push through on Heaven, but they are blocked off with the smoke. The Trailblazer continues to check, nobody right outside. So being able to stay in control now, DFM puts up the shields. Manages to hold Jinbong though.
Paranoia to push them out of position as well, trading kill for kill, but DFM still ahead in numbers, playing it to their advantage. But he getting spotted, May trying to go for the combat, but Crystal, he's regaining that confidence, he's regaining the aim.
Just being able to hold out towards the back line to continue to find some angles. Evens out the numbers for now, but then the quick transition over onto B, where DFM is already reading the situation.
Okay, this is a send, right? Crystal going for the fake because they realized they've pulled off so far. DFM would have gone for the rotate. They even invested, but there's the spike drop. This is where it all falls apart. They can retrieve it, but he has to rush in. He just has to get the kill. Only 8 seconds. Akame knows the mission. He just needs to buy time. 4 seconds pass, he gets the kill, another 4K for Akame.
Akame just able to fend it off and hold, despite the fake from GE. Jen got felled out towards stairs, but Akame was able to swing out from screens just to clear and check. Just gets down the spike. So much value found in those impact frags.
I love that he just doesn't leave his post. It doesn't matter what the fake is. As long as he holds true, he knew that they would get 100% information, and it pays.
ये क्या कौन सा हैंडल देख रहा है? ये क्या है?
अबे ये
DFM able to convert that time.
कौन सा anime है?
And now continuing with that setup, the Vice over by the A, the trips in mid, even if it breaks, that's information. They have always been leaving it empty, so all they want to know is, okay, are you pushing up or not? They don't really have any signs so far of wanting to take over that mid control.
Bit more active control.
अरे मैं लाइव देख रहा हूँ, ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट का मैच है ना, बहुत गंदा हार रही है, वही देख रहा हूँ मैं बस.
Just trying to hold, at least knowing that there is a bit more mid presence from GE. Jinbong.
Yeah, this is a much better move, though. This is what I talked about during that timeout. Do you push out a bit more aggressively on one side? And also, are you ready to potentially push out of A as well, since you've given up that mid position? Garage taken over, A main now being cleared. DFM turning into a bit more of that proactive team that we've been talking about here in Kickoff 2025.
हैं कौन सा anime?
Continues to move across the map. I mean, now GE getting that space
नाम
on
बता.
Heaven. It's being read by DFM. Now they're prepared to get
अबे
them down
1080p
as they try to push on through.
मैंने.
But the swings, they
चल
don't quite
40
pay
अल्लाह
off.
मैं था.
Elias able to strike
रुक
back
देख
against
दे
Jin.
मुझे close आने
DFM,
देख.
they're trying to fight back as well. Jin
Clan
from the top
Clan the
stairs,
movie.
but Yudotan strikes them down.
Yudotan
Clan
just
the movie. Could be a pronunciation.
sitting down in the grab net, caught up in the cyber cage. Akame sees him, and he will get the kill, but Yudotan gets a third as well, and that's going to be Akame all alone. He's gotten 2 great rounds in a row, but I don't know if you feel confident enough to go for this one.
Yeah, 1 on 3.
अबे अगर इसने 3 राउंड लगातार क्लच निकाला ना खेल खत्म भाई. खेल खत्म ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट का भाई.
ये वाला देख ना मैं रो दिया था.
क्या है इस anime में?
Gian not able
भाई
to
बहुत
buy
गंदा
up in that
स्टोरी
next round, so they'll have to make do with what they have.
देखेगा तू.
हाँ मैं थोड़े ज्यादा ही पॉपुलर एनिमे ही देखता हूँ. एंड कुछ एनिमे अब देखता हूँ. मैं एनिमे कम देखता हूँ. उतना कोई
लिंक भेजता हूँ बाद में देखियो.
Still is GE being able
क्या
to
चीज़?
rush effectively.
लिंक भेज दिया
Pushed
मैंने
up
बाद में
mid,
देखियो.
getting that space into its B heaven.
देख के देखता
DFM
हूँ.
read it. They sent in that flash, but maybe it was a little bit slow. At the same time, for Art to swing up from the left side of the pillar as well, it was just clear and simple for GE to hold together as a squad. A firing squad, really, to come in with those sprays and bursts.
अरे तेरी.
That spray through the cyber cage as well, just understanding, okay, you're probably trapped here. If not, that's fine, but you haven't taken the space. So Yudotan starting to come online. The 2 raises, just 1 apart on the kill score. So GE abusing the fact that mid has been empty for DFM against them, masking that information and using the numbers advantage. This calls for yet another change on the setup from DFM. Looks like they want to set up Mei in a bit of a position, but too much opposition. Scout it. You're going to have to back off, rely on that sheer wall for the delay.
Holding the sight line back in from screens. Oh, a little bit spotted out. Paint shells defend them off. Trying to trip that sheer wall, but not quite able to make it happen just yet.
Yeah, the Razor Vines will delay it just a bit further. That allows for a reset onto Heaven, but you have to watch out. There's a guiding light. Love the safety from Art, but are you both able to get in just yet? They're just going to yield it. They say if you want to go Heaven to B, we have the setup there to try to anchor down on the site. Akame, he's got to get so many kills. He's going to hide behind the map. That Arcros needs to go big, and he does! He catches him in the sky, blind as a bat. Yudotan falls, eventually getting caught by the annihilation. Sight still in favor of DFM. GE frantically trying to regroup in Heaven. They have to rotate over. They have to get the kill as well. Akame dropped and stranded on Heaven.
Popped the Steel Garden just before it died too, but now off towards the races. It's both teams racing towards the B side. Flash sent through just to buy a little bit of time, but Crystal has slipped past it. Now holding back towards defender spawn. The smoke comes up, the spray comes in, and also just GE being able to get the spike down soon enough.
Yeah, Crystal waiting for his teammates and then helping clear out the site itself. The protocols seem to be coming online for GE. Positions taken. Poppy already going into garage for that extra space. The sonic sensors are going to delay any sort of push in from Alley, but they've already all dropped.
Art, he's looking to make something happen. May, though, in for the first peek, unfortunately, drops to Darian. Then the swing out from Jin, not quite able to connect either. The Odin has to come up huge, but only good for the 1. Down to the 1-on-2 for Jinbung. And he's thinking about the back. Too many considerations. Fortunately,
let's go.
Yes, to then swing out from the side of the pillars. GE find the lead.
Just into ahead 1 by 1, barely able to stay ahead, but starting on the attacking side, I think GE will gladly take the scoreline. It did look like it was going to be frantic, especially with the ults crisscrossing against each other, but they're able to stay together, group up in Heaven. And Akame being released right at the end there, very unfortunate, not able to escape from danger.
Came down close to it, but unfortunately now it's starting to show that as soon as G is able to really tighten up some of their protocols and not really wanting to aggress too far, too fast, they are able to take the lead against DFM. Still though, DFM, early control with outside of garage.
And just going to take up that entire space. Look at the just emptiness of util on B site. You're relying on the fact that you can delay with the trap plays over by mid and the setup over by garage to hold on. And then A is all about that delay, trying to punish the trigger on the wall. Not going to find his target.
too much. Prowler calls out that most of A Heaven is clear as well. Oh, then the outlaw shot from Crystal. That's Akame already gone.
Now just complete disregard for all of the setups over by the A side. It's a good hit from May. Nice jiggles. GN answers back as well. So the trap play finding some value. Look at the push-up. Look at the push-up from Art. There's the judge, and that's the spike dropped. No omen on the side of GE. They will have to run and retrieve. Only 30 seconds. Art holding an off angle. This one's tricky to read. He did have a judge last. They're not suspecting it at all.
Lord.
Clean up, tie it up once again. 5-5.
Just so quick in being able to react against GE, right? He saw that, you know, maybe he was left a little bit clear. It was just Akame there being taken down by Crystal. But as soon as that happens, already Seekers being sent out, Boombot as well from May to actually take that fight, the pinch down from mid. And also, truly, Art being able to push all the way out. That active map control truly works out in his favor as he continues to push off of the bits of chaos that were induced.
So DFM taking that proactive control. It's starting to pay off. We'll see if they can keep that in mind for the last 2 rounds of the half. Sees nade combo, a bit of a new look. Finally, just pressuring Garage right off the rip for GE. And, I mean, look at it. DFM not quite ready for it. They just haven't done this the entire first half.
Not so much, but at least the one-way cage does buy a bit of time, and maybe Gen able to hang back from B having to hold and provide that support. But right now, GE just baiting out the util.
Yeah, so GE's trying to tell them, okay, well, you don't have any way to delay us anymore at this front of the site, so how are you going to fill the site itself? And then they'll continue to pressure point in mid to try to slow down their rotations, but it's a good scout out from Art. He does take a lot of damage, but does he bait them in towards the judge once more? I think GE has to kind of remember the memory bank from last round and recognize that this is a possibility.
Maybe. So GE really taking their time with it. Slow creeps up. They've re-cleared Garage as well.
And there comes the Nightfall. Paranoia drawn out as well. But look at this, GE. The whole plan was always just keep them stacked up over by B, but that's 2 kills. They do not remember the fear of the art of the judge. One more. It's a nice attempt, but almost 4. And there's the last drop from May. Darian all alone. 1v4, 20 seconds. There is just no chance. He gets locked out. And that's the round in favor of DFM.
And the door shut in his face.
10 seconds left.
Last round of the first half on the next, and without the creds, I mean, this Vandal is going to be it for GE at least. And that judge play just truly works out.
I mean, you look at the creds, it's a little questionable, right? So they're not really thinking about that possibility, let alone the fact that obviously it was a push out and a way to hold on to B. But the overall macro idea I like. They say, hey, we cleared any util if you had any over by B, so you're going to have to focus, you're going to have to shift your weight. Then they send the Nightfall, it's a full fake, and DFM does fall for it. The rotations happen, but all they needed was a singular judge.
Judge and Art. His paintbrush. The next round coming up, though, still holding on to the judge. An outlaw on the side of Akame as well. Back from screens. G just looking to send it straight into B Heaven.
Okay, just trying to clear close. He just launches it. Not really anywhere else to go. May now answers back, and he tries to get ahead of it, but Jimbo, with amazing cover, will save May. Everybody tagged up. Oh, they're all trapped. There's the paint shells. And it lands right on the stairs.
You know, you can see that G really don't want to back themselves in towards ropes once again. So it's just May and Jinbung to hold on the other side of Mail. That's the first shot already. GE kind of pincered and trapped inside. They're going to hold their ground, though, while May over-aggresses.
Well, trying to push them in. Poppy, does he now have finally a chance to try to peek in with the Sheriff? Site cleared out. DFM will wait to regroup. It's a 3v3.
Just to hold on the other side. GE looking to get the spike down.
Mind games. Oh, Gian might have spotted him right on the exit.
Still a little bit risky. Waits for the Trailblazer.
They know the location, but Crystal, he's going to reposition. Trying to hold closer now, not behind the box anymore. And Gian recognizes that there's a chance for the push in. He has to wait for his teammates to clear out some extra space. There's the jump forward. Crystal, he hears it. Not quite sure yet, but Poppy with 1 kill. On site, Gian not able to line them up. Akame 1v2 drops right in front of Crystal. and it's going to eventually end at a 6-6 half.
So close and incredibly tense, but once again showing strength in GE's rush. Straight in through, Mate had his own showstopper as well, but that's where everything came to a bit of a stop, a roadblock.
I mean, just an absolute mess. Honestly, in my head, I'll be very honest, I'm thinking, I mean, where's the help? Why are we getting stuck in mail, trying to peek out one by one? But they stand true, and they go out for the Cypher ultimate, get the information, force him to back out, and that gives the opening for Poppy. So rather than risking, you know, the weaker weaponry, they go for the utility, and eventually they get the site. Can't blame them.
Also showing how they knew how to work the site as well. Past the smokes, Crystal, just being able to stay so ready on top of it all. I mean, GE definitely still has a bit of a chance at closing out this map despite the really tight and close score. But you gotta respect and admire how DFM were able to come back in to take these rounds away from GE again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either team is really too upset about the half, but that also means that both teams have to stay nervous for the second half.
A little bit more so for GE.
I mean, sure, I'm starting on the attack. Yes, we talk about how strong the Cypher lock is on that post plant, but also, especially on split, I do think it can get a little bit hard to really try to power through. And now on the defense, you can try to stack on one side, hold on the other. Meanwhile, DFM, I mean, the Desk talked about it, the Vice able to act a little bit more as an initiator, so maybe they have a bit more proactive freedom here in the second half.
Yeah, a little bit. It still feels somewhat even for both sides, but I'm just thinking about, you know, how this feels mentally for GE, who are, you know, standing upon the edge of elimination right now. Still, though, comfortable on their defensive half. Got the setups towards the bear mesh already up.
You know, just trying to counteract that cyber cage, so eventually they'll recognize no crosses yet, and the wall's still up. Jinbung trying to just let them know that it's only him breaking this barrier mesh, but GE, I mean, that doesn't really change the plan for them. They will just hold that crossfire.
Yeah, not at all. Cam spots Art out by Garage, though, while Yudotan comes back in to hold a little bit closer.
Yeah, the classic Art of Nobody with the Sky Lurk on the other side, trying to throw out a couple fakes there here on the pistol, but not really gaining too much information, decides to bank on the strength of numbers here for DFM. Huge catch on to Yudotan, a lot weaker now. That's gonna have to call back up over from mid.
So instantly filling back in, Crystal out to the top of Heaven, but May repositions alongside his team as well.
They have to suspect this. They purposely pushed him into that corner. Eventually he falls, but he does take out Art. Now Kilias holding close. Jinbung still over by the ramp. Akame once again opening things up with another kill. Everybody taking one each on the side of DFM. And with 4 members alive, it's once again just Poppy alone.
And this time it's a 1-on-4. Sure, May might be low HP, but look at the setups up around elbow as well.
No information. You just got to take the 1v1s as much as you can. And DFM, they won't take any chances. Now that they know where he is, they'll just bring him in. Akame with 2 on the Sheriff, and DFM start things off with a pistol once again.
Just looking to peek up bit by bit, but still, Akame, or just the entirety of DFM at least in this pistol, right? Getting the reads for how, you know, GE might have themselves set up, but then making the swift decision to really work together as a team to barrel through out towards A Heaven, maybe a bit of a split push out from the ramps as well. They really kind of broke apart GE's defenses back there. Now onto the next round though, buying up, it's Akame on towards the Marshall, Jinbung on the Ghost.
And we got triple Bulldog as well. So a bit of a heavier buy. Akame going to be a little bit on that back line as that Vice. So keeping that Marshall for himself. May already looking to charge forward with a Bulldog. So much space already taken by Jinbung.
Oh. He's the one with the Ghost. So looking to slip through his cyber cage. Crystal marking the other side, but lets him slip.
Yeah, I mean, the timing actually works out. I was wondering if he really needed to over-aggress this much. He can always just go for aggression after the plant. But he takes Heaven fully. All they need to do is worry about behind the map. It's a 50-50, and May will clear it. Safe and sound. Crystal now caught off guard in elbow all alone.
Jinbung.
And look at this, Jinbung ready to collect. Oh, that's a nice shot on the jump.
And now all of a sudden, if you're Yudotan and Kelly S, it's like, I know he's got the ghost, but I still gotta be careful with how I want to retake that space. And it's just spawn. All this while, the spike will continue to tick away.
The problem here is that the G players do need to die. So eventually they'll need to run towards the spike, but currently they were a little scared because DFM is probably waiting with open arms given how much space they've taken. They'll slowly start to creep up so you don't have to sprint in. Standing right at the edge looking for a jump in. But look at this, DFM, they're ready for it. All charging forward, and it's just an instant kill. Jinbong and Art picking up one each.
Just immaculate. I do love how DFM were able to take down the round, though. I mean, just Jinbong be able to slip all the way through, but the way that he does it is thanks to his team, sending out that util, right, down towards screens or elbow, at least, and that's why Crystal kind of left his post. Jinbong was then able to set himself up towards the back of spawn, cutting off on all those rotations, just so much space, so much. I mean, you gotta imagine if DFM pulls things off like that again, it's not gonna look too good for G, but then, you know, this is where G gets the buyback up.
Yeah, waiting for that barrier mesh on a timing. Going to respond to util. All right. Does still have to get spent very early, and DFM wants to get rid of it ASAP. But one thing I also want to point out is that on this default, GE, look at how spread out the Cypher util is and the Sonic sensor. So a single nade not going to clear out the entire site on either side, because on the B side, you have the Astra as well.
And they haven't taken out the barrier mesh either. Well, G, they've kind of planted the 2 players back towards the top of mid as well.
Waiting to see if there's a final poke in towards that barrier mesh. So GE securing all that information, but it looks like it might be a strong hit towards that B side. You're not seeing any tripwires. You're not seeing the cam. You see the jump up from the Astra, and they will just drop the gravity well. And that's the signal here for Jinbong to go across. Now, he does get tagged, but they don't have full information on the side of GE. So they have to wait, they have to fish for information, and Yudotan pays for his curiosity, and that calls for Jinbong on a nice timing peak.
Oh man, Jinbong. Just so much already afforded to DFM with these tiny movements. Earlier on was a little bit of a dog to clear out mid as well, and that kind of baits in for Yudotan, thinking that maybe it was just one person. Now that's going to be the flood for DFM into the A site, and lo and behold, it's just Darian here. He's hiding inside of elbow, looking to maybe deny the spike plant, but May's gotten it in a safe spot.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even care about fighting him. They'll just keep him trapped in here. There's the Pain Jones, pushes him out, and that's right into Art's crosshairs. It's a good setup. DFM is playing so calm, so patient, and there's sheer will to watch their back as well. Kelly S has to back out.
Thoroughly calculative as well, Chopra. I mean, the way they were able to bait out all that util from GE, you know, it's just a little bit dangerous outside of garage, but baiting out that grab wall and then with a quick reaction to push out mid and into A, just so quick. Now taking down Kelly S as well. You know, this is a little bit of an out point for Jin, but all that's left is just it's Puppy. It's Puppy.
And not much he can do, but DFM giving a little bit of respect as well, not going out one by one on the hunt. They will just clear the site. He's hiding in a rather hard place to find, all the way out by Ramen. Akame currently up to 18 kills, but I gotta point out, right, just not over-aggressing into elbow, not kind of ego peeking into these 1v1s where you think you can win, and DFM just saying, hey, our win condition, we already have the spike, we already have coverage, you don't have to worry about it, I'm watching from heaven, and then we push him out afterwards. And at that point, there's really no other option for GE but to save.
You gotta love it when DFM continues to make plays like these happen and to play to their advantage as well, not greeting too much. I mean, this can really snowball into a huge lead. GE, though, trying to get ahead now with the slight half buys. They peek out. Poppy actually getting away with daylight robbery.
Just that hero rifle, finding its value so far. Yudotan still left in mid with a Sheriff. Almost had a timing, but he will have to back out. Oh!
Wallbanged.
Yeah, gets chipped right through, only 29 HP. He'll buy time with the Boombot, but it's not going to be much.
Okay. It's wallbang dinked. But, you know, the fact that it's Jen who got killed, no smokes on the attack, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, no coverage, no way to mask it. So now they are grouping up, saying, all right, we just have to go for it. And look at the read from GE. We haven't seen them cross over. We haven't seen anything from B main. So everybody waiting for DFM on the A side. There's the C's, it catches R. There's the paint shell, doesn't get him. Eventually, May actually gets the kill onto Crystal. Distraction's working out, but Yudotan clean with the shot.
Still continuing to spam through the cage as well. Unfortunately, that's going to be Akame down now for DFM. The spike on the ground. Jinbum trying to take things into his own hands, but gunned down by Poppy. Art fires back, but it's a 1-on-3. He kind of knows where his opponents are, but what he really knows is that the spike is down, needs to pick it up, doesn't have the time, goes in for the swing, but it's high, low, left, right, all over the place. GE picks up the round despite the worst economy.
Yeah, it was looking a little dicey, giving 3 rounds in a row, the bonus given over, but this is a great way to try to stabilize and crawl your way back in. Now, tightening the gap to 2 rounds. And May, I mean, does his best. But this was one of those rounds. This is a classic DFM round. Okay, you don't have smokes, we just have to go in. I don't mind it. You don't really have much of a choice. But then it just turns into, May, please open up the site because you don't have much other utility. And it's such a choke point for him to get through.
Yeah, everything out towards the exit of that A ramp area. Slow, smooth is fast, but not when everyone is bunched up in one spot. Next round coming up, it's going to be the Barry Mash out towards mid.
Very far out as well.
Okay, broken.
Yeah, not risking any sort of cheeky peeks as they're trying to break it. But as you mentioned, it's broken very early. So GE, they'll have to pay attention. So because of that, they push out aggressively. They notice the Cypher, and they'll be able to push him back.
Jinbum stays alive as well. The rest of the team just kind of asserting themselves up towards top mid. Flashes out, looking for that quick take out towards B Heaven, but Kelia slows them down with the grab net. Looking for the spams. May in with the rocket.
Oh, shut down off the showstopper, and Kelias will spray all
let's go.
What a hole! The grab net to buy time, and the reposition to get ahead of things. And now the hunt. No reaction. I mean, this might actually fake you out a bit. Kelias says, wait, hold on. You didn't actually check this.
Yeah, let's go.
The ace
Let's go.
on his own.
वे यार इसने क्या गंदा मारा इधर
Standing tall, standing proud for
अल्टीमेट
GE.
सब फाड़ के मारा इसने
And that's Annihilation. Oh my god, Crystal, what a G. Just be hopping away, but also truly the round for Kelias to pick it all up. Just had the hold outside of Mill, had the grab net, and reacted in kind to that showstopper, able to shut down Mage just as he tried to start things up.
Yeah, again, I don't think the read itself was terrible from DFM. They recognized one was vent, one was male, and one was over by the A side, so it's weak, or 2 rather, by A side, so you know it's weak on the B side. You want to just barrel through, but the Gravnet hits everybody. So much delay on this side. Gravnet sees, and then the double sentinel usage all the way through with the traps, and then you've got Astra. I mean, you have to drop this util a little bit faster if you want consistent rounds.
Yeah, that is something to watch out for. That deadlock, especially with the util. But right now, looking to maybe set something up towards the A site. The dog has been cleared.
You can
But
do
you know
that.
that the Baron Mesh is still
Yeah?
up in mid, so you are banking on the fact that it
Yes,
should be
okay.
A. There's a showstopper. He just launches it close.
क्या कर सकता है?
Not holding on to that ult for long. G Crystal does get traded off. May comes in deep. Kelias, he has to watch out. There's the Annihilation. Catches May. Can he get saved? He's gone. It's just too late. Jinbun gives up on it.
And that's the round 2 possibly as well.
Yeah.
Round 4 for DFM. They hang back out towards the top of heaven. How do you regress off of this? Look at the angles marked by GE.
Yeah, I mean, they still have the trip as well in vent, so the only thing you're worried about is pushing through screens, getting the kills up on Daring. You don't need to necessarily fight this. No reason to equalize the numbers.
तो ये कर सकता है ना
GE, they just need to not get the 1v1s. Kelias gets 1 kill, now back down to a 3v1, and the spike is down.
Video.
A much safer position.
देख ले
20 seconds on the clock as well.
10 seconds left.
The round surely over, but
हाँ,
Yudotan
ये कर
can
सकता हूँ।
get towards another showstopper.
ये देख
Here's the
आर्कोन
cam.
टीम बना सकता हो
This is him. He is pinged, but it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of Jago's left, right, and Yudotan will get 3 on the round.
मुझे पता है सबके ई यूज करने हैं बस
हाँ
हर पास घूमना है इधर से उधर खुद पे खुद अटैक लग जाएंगे
ये देख
3 rounds in a row.
इससे पहले जब मव्यू का नहीं आई थी ना तब जोंगली लिया करते थे जोंगली रिमूव हो गया
Mavyu
का आ गई
sending it through, finding those
उस
shots.
वक्त हाइपर ब्लूम होता था और इस वक्त दोनों हो सकते हैं हाइपर ब्लूम बस जो भी है वो बर्निंग
Not really able to break
बॉस
past.
भी मार दे रहा है
Trying to
देख।
go in for somewhat
बॉस
of a
भी फाइट
flood
कर रहा
or
है
a
ये।
rush play, but it's
हाँ वो आराम से मार देगा, कोई
stopped and
दिक्कत नहीं होगा
halted.
कोई भी चीज में।
Yeah, just because you have to read on the positions, the blind rush through so far, 2 rounds in a row, they're not working. There's just
अबे
too
इन्होंने तो
much
स्पैम ले
delay, and
लिया।
also does not
तो
quite
मतलब
considering
क्या
the
ये
possibility
मारा
of that
भाई,
showstopper in that
भाई
last
मजा
round
ही आ
was
गया भाई
large.
केलियस ने तो।
DFM
अल्ट उल्ट सब करके घुस रहे थे, ठीक है, 1 2 3 4 और एस।
That's something they can use to their advantage.
maybe
ये
kind
देख
of
इसको भी मार दे रहा है।
trading rounds in favor of
हाँ
GE.
तो अरे चाइल्ड का तो मैं भी मार दूंगा, मेरे पहले खराब बिल्ड हो गए, चाइल्ड को भी मार दूंगा।
Make something happen, but right now
मेरा आर्कॉन में ना बस है ना यही बिल्ड है फुरीना ही,
not finding too much outside of A either.
बाकी बहुत राइडन खराब है, मावियो का ठीक ठाक सी है
Curious exactly what the purpose
एंड
would
वो
have
खराब
been.
है।
राइडन कब आएगा
Doesn't
भाई?
really find
राइडन
much
को
value.
मैंने
It gets erased
करना
immediately
है
as
राइडन को।
well.
पुल
So
करना है,
not
राइडन
much space
नहीं
created,
आएगा अभी।
not much value
नेक्स्ट
gained.
नेक्स्ट न्यू मैप जब लॉन्च होगा ना
क्या?
तब राइडन आएगी, अभी नहीं
It's
आएगी।
back. But the Sonics
Raiden
are
return.
still online, so look at
तो
that.
फिर फुरीना
He
तो आ
says,
रहा
okay,
है,
we still see
फुरीना नेक्स्ट में आ
Zone.
रही है,
still have the
फुरीना
tripwires
नेक्स्ट
there
में आ
at
रही है।
time. It's going
सारे
to be
आर्कॉन आएंगे एक एक करके,
Coffee,
अभी
not
फुरीना
yet.
आएगी आगे
Steel
में,
Garden, he's in the
और
wave.
फुरीना के बाद वेंटी
One
आएगा।
spotted with clarity
वेंटी को लिखा
by that
Vinti.
Trailblazer.
Some
Vinti,
intentional win, though, so allows for
okay,
the
Vinti,
the
then
trio to push up in the middle.
yeah,
And that's
Nehina
Jen
कब
taking down
आएगा?
Yudotan. Poppy though,
मतलब?
still holding from backside. Akami
Nehina.
trades. Crystal now at
5.5
the bottom takes down
5.5
Few.
5.4
Jin
चलेगा
with
इसके
the
Nahida.
बाद।
ball, though, so now
और नहीडा आके गई शायद,
side a little,
हीरा गिरा है।
but
हाँ,
things are
आके तो
still
चला
opened
गया।
up.
वही तो।
देन तो वो भी अगला
The
सीजन
shot
आएगा
from
फिर।
heaven.
And now
ओके।
grouping
New
up,
map
they
में।
know he's still on the side.
सारे आर्कॉन साथ में
One more
रीरन
hit,
करते
he's
हैं
by the pillar.
एक एक
Could have
करके।
चल
repositioned.
मैं
स्कोर क्या चल
में
रहा है?
अगली
Waiting
बार
for
तो
him
मैं
to peek
सारे
out for
के
information
सारे
for
आंखों
that
निकाल रहा
1v1. They know he's still
अरे
by the
हलवा
pillar in
नहीं
the
है
middle
भाई,
of the site.
50-50
But
अगर एक भी हार गया ना, एक भी
it's going to be a double
हाँ।
पूरा
sweep.
मूड खराब हो
He
जाएगा।
eliminates them. 1
अबे
by
फुरीना
1.
तो मुझे निकाल
मैं तो हार गया।
Talk
मेरे पास
about
फुरीना आ गया,
slicing the
ऑलरेडी आ
pie.
गया।
He doesn't need it.
तो सोच
Just
ले मेरे पास
quick with
फुरीना
the
आ गया।
stutter step.
चल
मेरे पास
Akame has been
कंफर्म है।
on a tear throughout this
हाँ,
whole
मेरे
match.
पे
हाँ,
कंफर्म
इसका
है,
तो
मैं
कंफर्म
हारूंगा
है।
नहीं।
मेरा भी कौन है।
Just great
आ जाएगा
clutch.
भाई।
अबे भाई तो
right there.
50-50 हारा नहीं है तो ऐसा मत बोल,
Expecting them to
ये ऐसा ही
play
अबे
बोलता था।
50-50 भाई इतने स्पिन मारूंगा ना मैं।
Nothing fancy.
अगर
अच्छा तब कंफर्म ही मार लेगा ना, हार भी जाए तो फिर भी मिल जाएगा।
अब रुक।
अगर
अब
दो
रुक।
डिपोजिट भी कर लेंगे,
Keeping
कोई
themselves
दिक्कत
in the game off of plays like
Look.
that. Still though, ultimate's now up and online for GE.
अबे केलियस ने
नहीं
एस
पहुंची
मारा।
है तो फिर हारेगा।
Noted.
नहीं। हाँ
अब देख 50-50 जल्दी हारते नहीं है, ठीक है,
Simply means no one's pushing
बट
out.
हारते हैं ना,
ज्यादा बोले हाँ, मैं तो हार गया।
बट हाँ हारते हैं ना तो फिर थोड़ा ज्यादा ही हारते हैं, उसके बाद
अबे तू देखा, तू इस बार देखा ना मेरे पास लेकिन आगे।
अब मैं भाई 2 50-50 तूने जीते ही है भाई, उससे क्या बड़ी बात हो गई भाई, 8
अबे
जीत
उस
रखा हो।
टाइम तो मैंने कोशिश नहीं की थी ना इसलिए, लेकिन टाइम तो मैं कोशिश किया था इसलिए निकल गया। फुरीना के टाइम भी ऐसी होगा।
But it just gets deleted
ओके
immediately.
Cool.
मैं कह रहा हूँ तो 50-50 हारेगा।
Sonic
देख
sensor
पे
still
चल,
online.
आप तो दे
Yudotan's
दे,
just waiting
आने तो
for
दे।
that information. Goes for the
हाँ?
spray. Doesn't quite get the kill, but
पहले आने
Kelly
तो दे
does.
इसको।
It's a nice little crossfire in the smoke.
एक और है इसके लिए, इसका चाहता हूँ
हारेगा
भाई, मजा ही आ जाए
Back as
पूरा।
well. No!
He gets sprayed down by Kelly's
बाय
instead.
द वे मैंने नया अकाउंट
The
खोला।
Phantom's doing work right
क्या
now.
वो account
No
क्यों बंद कर
sky
लिया?
available. No flashes
अबे
from
उस
anybody.
अकाउंट में
Jinbo
स्मार्ट आ रही है
tried
ना।
opening some. That was a quick
आ
clear.
भाई
Pushes
तू ही
through
स्मर्फ बन जा,
outside.
फिर अपने नूब के साथ खेल, जिनका आयरन रैंक हो उसके
Where he
बीच में
is,
तू
and he
खेल।
waits for it, chooses the right angle on the
किधर रहा,
peek
तू ही
out.
स्मर्फ बन जा
And he
फिर,
will clean up
ग्राउंड में
that
जाए।
east side.
एंड स्मर्फ
So
कोई
now
बोलेगा
it's
भी नहीं,
just
तू अपनी ही
Poppy
आईडी से
waiting for it.
खेलेगा।
Down to one member. But it is May.
आईडी ही हटानी पड़ेगी बे, नहीं तो वो वैलोरेंट वाले जानते हैं तू नहीं, तू वही प्लेयर रहेगा।
10-10 score
अबे
line.
नहीं भाई,
I mean,
मेरे
these two teams
पूरा का
just
पूरा
can't
जीमेल भी
get
चेंज
enough
कर
of each other on this
देंगे।
map.
10-10 हो रहा है बे, प्लीज यार 2 राउंड आगे की, 3 राउंड बस जीतने हैं जी स्पोर्ट को, एंड उधर अपोनेंट टीम को भी 3 राउंड जीतने हैं।
That was the thing to definitely think about.
देखते हैं।
How Kelly's was able to kind of hold on for the timing of it, set it up, noting that DFM was trying to clear some of that
Elias का वो
util,
एस
and
देख के तो
coming up
मजा ही
with
आ गया
sprays and
भाई।
spams.
टाइम आउट मिला है, टाइम आउट लिया है डीएफएम ने।
10-10 score line, oddly enough, only the 2 timeouts from
चल
DFM
देखते हैं
coming
क्या
out.
करने आएगा।
GE holding
Nice.
strong, believing in their players, liking what they're
स्कोर
doing.
कितना हो गया
It
है?
looks
तो
like
10-10
quick adjustments in the calls from Kelly
10-10
S. But
वो
DFM
सब देखना
बस
बाद में,
बस।
मैं तेरे को एक एस दिखाता हूँ, ठीक है भाई साहब।
अबे देख अब आया ना इधर।
क्या गया क्या? अरे जल्दी हो जाए यार।
फिर भी भाई,
for
फिर भी
Jinbo
स्मार्ट
to go across B.
Kind of
वो स्टार्टिंग में
नहीं,
स्मर्फ आएंगे ही आएंगे।
being out that
अरे किरिंग में
मेरा टीम में देख
coverage
अनरैंक्ड और इसका टीम में देख
much.
हाँ यहाँ देखियो ठीक है, यहाँ पे देखो कैसा इसका एस था भाई, तुम इतना तगड़ा एस भाई।
So everybody doesn't have the time.
इधर होगा शायद एस।
See, giving 3 rounds in a row.
जल्दी कर यार, उधर मैच स्टार्ट हो जाएगा यार।
But this was one of those rounds. This is a classic.
अरे भाई लैग हो गया पूरा। मॉनिटर बोल रहा होगा भैया हम खुद 4K हम खुद 2K का नियर आप 2K में चला रहे हो हमें, असर आ रही है आपको? अच्छा ऐसे भी इन्होंने फेक 2K दिया है, मैं लिख के दे रहा हूँ कुछ रियल 2K तेरे ही जैसा काम किया है इन्होंने भी।
Aggressively.
Mill. So what a G.
ये देख किसका बात कर, अल्ट किया उसने, ठीक है देखियो यहाँ से, यहाँ अकेले केलियस है ठीक है, अल्ट करके एंटर कर रहा है ड्यूलिस्ट ठीक है, अल्ट करके घुसा, एक गया, 2 गया, 3 गया, 4 गया। देखिए वो वहाँ पे एस देने का कोशिश कर रहा है, चलिए देखिए लेट्स गो, चल जा।
No intent on doing so. Covered. That flick over.
30 seconds.
10-10 का स्कोर है भाई, बहुत डेंजरस जाता हुआ अभी मैच। मैं तो कहूँगा टाइम आउट ले लो जीतने के लिए, जब हार गए अगला राउंड तो।
Going out just to make sure they're not holding close. And gee, they need to wait for backup. But look at May's
प्लांट
position.
हो चुका है
Sure,
ग्लोबल
they can try to win this
ईस्पोर्ट,
round,
क्या
turn
कर
things
रहे हो?
around. Going all the way for a late lurk.
ओके नाइस, उदतान 2 के साथ, उदतान 2 के साथ, उदतान 3 के साथ, 3 है क्या? हाँ 3 ले गया उदतान।
Enough time at this point. Art's looking for the right clicks. He gets at least one. Oh, swaps over to the
Let's go.
crystal. May does get
ये
one.
बढ़िया राउंड गया।
He answers right back. So
अगर ये मैच हार गई ना तो ग्लोबल ईस्पोर्ट टूर्नामेंट से भी बाहर और इस मैच से भी बाहर।
I mean, the classic gold throw all the bodies at the problem there wasn't a big one, so GE able to
मैं
close
तो कैसे
out
खेलता है भाई वैलोरेंट, तेरे को
Now,
इतनी दिक्कतें आ रही है भाई, हाई एवरेज पिंग, नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम,
11 to 10.
थोड़ा सब जितना हो सकता है उतना दे रहे तुझे वैलोरेंट।
Caught out, his kneecap showing right behind that box. One too many squats. Sticks out like a sore thumb. Nice
अरे
kill
भाई
there
नाइफ
from
कर दिया
Crystal
उसने।
as well.
still as the next round gets set up once again.
बस भाई ये भी राउंड निकल जाए भाई, 2 राउंड, बस 2 राउंड, फिर उसके बाद हम लोग जाएंगे नेक्स्ट मैच पे।
Continuing to be a menace outside of mid.
He's named combo.
नो लोटस आएगा ना।
Trap here.
हाँ लोटस में पिछली बार फाइनल हार ही गई थी। डेरियन ले गया, पीछे आ जा, पागल है ये डेरियन यार, डेरियन पुश करता रहता है बार बार, पिछला मैच भी इसी ने थ्रो किया था, सेंटिनल होके पुश करता है, हक देता है पूरा। चेंबर लेके जितने इतना गंदा आ गया था कि पिछला मैच हार गए, अगर पिछला मैच हम लोग जीत जाते ना,
कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं थी।
हाँ फिर इनका मैच दूसरे प्लेयर से होता है।
Just look for the trades on B-Heaven.
Flashes over, Jin looking to capitalize, but nothing found either.
अरे
Straight shot from me!
Okay, well the fadeaway works out, opens up the A side. Crystal has to fight for his life, but Yudotan arrives just.
अरे ये 2 ले गया यार, 3 नहीं ले जाना। अरे उदोतान ओपी,
strong. He has backup once again in the form of
हमारा भी ड्यूलिस्ट कम थोड़ी है। अरे केलियस भी आ गया, ले 2v3।
But a 2v3. DFM would like nothing more than to get one extra pick before they go for the plant.
कॉल
Quite safe enough, at least a smoke refresh.
कॉल नहीं आया मेरे को,
outside of
कॉल
screens,
अच्छा
but
आया है,
nobody's watching elbow. Annihilation sent
इन्हें
through.
बस कॉल
Bit of a
करके छोड़
shotgun
दिया।
one with that, but unfortunately, Akame just kind of gunned down. Showstopper in hand as well, and Yudotan able to blow things up on the site. No chance in hell for Jin.
I love that Yudotan doesn't even fire blind. He just waits and he says, well, you're the one running out of time. So if you peek me, even if you fire, as long as I let my rocket launch, you are done. That's the round secured. I mean, this shot, if May was able to carry this round off of that fadeaway, he's just the chosen one for DFM. They got to keep him forever because that would have been ridiculous. But nice and safe playing with the calculations here from Yudotan. Nothing too flashy in this match so far, but doing what he needs to.
Lotus आएगा.
Online with the showstopper. Steel Garden still in the hands of Akame as well.
Overtime or nothing.
अगर वो comeback करता है.
Operator being sounded off in mid scares them away.
Yeah,
And look at the setups over by B. It's going to be a double. They've done this before when they want to kind of close things out. It is going to be that 12-10, the double high-low setup over by Garage.
Yeah, trying to do it again. But off for DFM, trying to hang back. This does take quite a bit of time away, though, and still GE holding on to their utility. The Steel Garden tripped off, but I don't know what much it finds, and Crystal still holding true with the op.
I mean, they wanted to try to get Heaven control so they could maybe even potentially rotate over to B, but like you said, it finds no value there as Yapi takes it down, but is he ready for the trade? He's just gonna get locked down, tries to avoid it, but you're never going to. You'll land right back at the pool. This, I mean, it looks like it's going to be the beginning of the end, Darion. He has to hold strong. Two members closing in. He wants to choose the 1v1s. He tries to find a timing, but Mei breaks through. Spike planted. Mei Jinbung will find another as well. Perhaps we spoke too soon, because DFM just isn't quite done yet.
Hold on. It is Poppy.
The Clutch Master himself. Cosmic Divide already used, but GN getting ahead of it. Just 10 HP, but he's been so quick today. Poppy swings out, and GN is good for the kill. 1 point away from overtime.
Is it possible? They did it once. They did it once last week. Can they make it happen again? You're all thinking about it, but so far it still has been GE with the effective setups. That GravNet still being able to disable Akame.
Yeah, but you can tell on May's face as well. Yeah,
oh my god.
It's just taking so much, taking everything that they have as a team for DFM, all the heroics across the board right now to even just try to bring this to overtime. GE, they want to close this out. They want to get backstage, rest up, get ready for a third map.
So looking to set themselves out outside of A.
To stack onto the A site, and then a close hold on Vents. They are happy to give up Heaven right now, and then it's going to be a repinch onto the Flood. Trying to get ahead of the Seekers, he gets caught, and GN crosses over onto the rafters and opens up Heaven.
GravNet avoided and baited out as well.
Crystal
alongside Darren still holding strong.
They are spotted. The paranoia keeps them tied up. The wraparound. Wait, DFM? Waiting for the rotation, but they might get caught themselves. They have to watch out. They have to watch out for their positions. They're giving the peaks. GN trades 1 for 1.
It kind of hangs back, but into the site. Crystal, another shot through. Jinbuk taking down Poppy. The spike has been dropped, though. 40 seconds on the clock now.
Darion and Crystal grouping together. Do they go for a double, try to get ahead of things? They do, they split, but Darion left alone, not able to pick up the kill, and Crystal will fall to the hands of Mei. He says the game is not done just yet.
I am still here, and I'm still playing. We are going to overtime. Just as it all happens, GE, they had the setup. They had 4 players stacked up on the A side, but as it all kind of breaks down, DFM slowly able to break on through thanks to Jen, who actually TPs from the side out towards Heaven. Continuing to hold on towards the back of spawn as well, though. I mean, it can't quite dicey, but Jinbung managed to land some nutty shots.
Well, 23 kills for Akame, 22 for Mei. Mei definitely has the support this time, but it looks like they're going to need a lot more to close things out because GE was the one resting at match point. Neither team using their new timeouts during this overtime. Starts with GE's attack.
And Art on an Odin. Holding close. Clears out Garage.
Remembering that proactivity that started to pay off in that first half.
With an Odin, though.
Smoke lets him have that angle. The util comes in, it's just going to be a spray. I mean, we've seen what this guy can do with the Odin. He isn't just any other player, but there's a spray from Mei, trying to keep them at bay. But they get over. The tripwire broken a little bit late, but you still have to respect the vent space.
And Jinbung backs off. Does have the camera, so might be able to hold it out from screens, but then you're giving up quite a bit of space up A Heaven as well. At least no trap plays this time, and GE is able to get a little bit more space on through. Thinking back in towards Mail. May, as well as Jen,
they need to stay alive. GN and May have to stop them
Char,
here so
char.
that Art can only focus on Garage. And there's the creep in. They didn't want to get caught by the trap play, but they will get shot down by May. They're once again trapped in Mail. There's the pain shells. They have to split. They'll avoid the bulk of the damage. But GN, once again, holding by the rafters. May
left.
comes back in onto the site for support. It's a high-low. There's the spray down. May catches their attention. A 4K in overtime. And Art, with the
Nice.
Odin, in true DFM fashion, will lead to match point.
Switching sides.
there it is. A bit of a chance for GE to
अरे मेरा कॉल आ गया था।
defensive half has been the
ये
strongest.
क्या हुआ बे?
जीत
But May,
जीत गई।
how does
कौन
he make
जीत
it
गई?
happen? That's just incredible. They
अबे!
kind of up towards the back. As he holds
अबे
up to the top
तेरी!
of rafters as
चारों को अकेला
finding
मार
his
दिया इसने।
impact, finding his position.
ये क्या हो रहा है? ऐसा तो हार जाएगी।
And hold down that ground.
ये राउंड जीतना ही पड़ेगा अब
Is
तो।
it truly May who determines when this game will be done? The superstar hero picked up
मैं ही
last
बड़ा
year for
तगड़ा खेल रहा है ये
DFM.
बंदा।
Tried to get some extra support. It
मैं
didn't
का
look too
कंट्री
hot
देखना
in the
पड़ेगा मुझे।
first
जापान
half,
का
but
लग रहा है ऐसे बाय द वे।
perhaps it's a reevaluation.
जापान का
GM
टीम,
looking
जापान
a
के
lot more
प्लेयर्स,
flexible.
इंडिया का टीम,
Everybody's
इंडिया का
coming
प्लेयर्स
online
होने चाहिए थे
today
यार।
in
मिनिमम
global esports.
3 प्लेयर्स तो होने ही चाहिए थे इंडिया के।
Maybe just possibly
कितने हैं?
all that utils currently getting
इंडिया
set
पे
up
प्लेयर्स
there,
नहीं
match
है,
is
ऐसी
quite
बात नहीं
broken.
है। उनको लाइक है ना फॉर्म वगैरह भरने नहीं आता। उन पे जो क्राइटेरिया है ना वो पूरा नहीं कर पाते वो।
In mid, seeing if there's a push out from the sides, but
अदर टैलेंट तो है उनके अंदर भी।
re-clear onto that mid side. No
मैं क्या सोच रहा हूँ ना, मैं
क्या
खुद ही
तो अपनी-
वैलोरेंट में नूब हूँ ना
तू
बगैर।
क्या तू क्या अपनी उसकी कह रहा है?
Doesn't work
मैं
out.
अपनी बात थोड़ी कर रहा
अपनी
हूँ।
तारीफ मत
मैं
कर।
कभी भी
तू
इनके
noob
अगेंस्ट
है।
compete नहीं कर पाऊंगा। मैं तुम्हें लिख के देता
तू
हूँ।
noob है।
ये कुछ अलग लेवल के प्रो है भाई। मैं कहाँ सिल्वर का हार्ड स्टैक भाई कैसे करूंगा चीजें? अरे भाई ये मार इसमें को मार। इसमें अकेला ले जा रहा है सबको। ओह ओह क्या लिया? मैं 2 ले गया फिर से।
49 health. He's stuck in the razor vines. He can't move. You can't move anymore, Poppy. You just have to be a turret. He's locked in. DFM knows
Oh,
this.
no.
They have him pinned. Poppy,
Oi.
29, 19.
ओए
The
एक और
Turks,
मूवर
they keep
खत्म।
on coming, and there's just no exit
अबे
for
भाई
Will.
फिर से 3
May
किल।
will keep them away from the site. The spike
एस मार के
slowly
खत्म कर देगा
making
ये
its
तो।
way. GN goes for the plan, separated Crystal and Darian. They need to win their fight.
Oh, no.
May's ready for the swing around. He's ready for everything.
एस चिल्ला रहे सब। वो नहीं हुआ, इस नहीं हुआ। डेरियन डेरियन
But he can't quite be the hero.
क्रिस्टल
Crystal,
क्रिस्टल
the swing out.
क्रिस्टल।
Double.
अरे
GN
यार
ये।
एक से रह गया।